But
And if
but
you're
but
not talking about the government, there will be any political.
and I honestly don't care to talk anything about any government, but I don't know how to escape it at all. Everybody is utilizing their political eyes and seeing things through their political lens, and that's where may have a little bit of problem. So I would really want to talk to people that's not going to um, talk politics. You know, may I say,
And
but
yeah,
unfortunately, it's
unfortunately,
not going to happen.
there are
Go
people
ahead.
who are gonna say that they don't see. They might not see it where you are, but it may be going on somewhere else. And this is a problem we're having. People will say, "I have people on the ground." Your people on the ground cannot see everything.
Cannot see everything.
So for me, I can only talk from my area and what I've seen and what I've experienced through my family, friends, neighbors, and all of that, and
Right,
pictures
right,
that
right,
I've gotten out of the area
right, right,
and
right, right,
reports that I've gotten out of the area. So if I say something outside of that area, it would be something that I see on the news or on the feeds that come through Facebook. Other than that, I have nothing to say
right, 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 right.
because sometimes people are not being objective because they are choosing sides and they're not realizing no matter which party is in, somebody will be quarreling and complaining.
Yeah.
No one person is going to get everything right, you
No,
know.
and I honestly think that and this is not talking political or be have any political preferences, but I honestly think that any government that is in control of this devastation or this whatever the worst situation that we'd ever been into, it's a lot on their hands to deal with, and people talk about one of the most common thing that people talking about is people is getting people back in their residence
Shelter,
or not just shelter, but they want but homes. And I
right?
have quite a few problems with that. Number one, building home at that such an early stage, since we have the disaster, when um, when the building code have to rewrite. Think about that because we're gonna have to know build our houses that is uh, 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 can sustain a hurricane of this magnitude. So we can just get up and bitch up house and put house together again. You know. The code has to change, and sadly, it maybe the new house is moving forward. But I can tell you probably if we have another hurricane of this magnitude pass through, even the southern, not just the southern, but the central part of the island are the eastern part of the island, we're gonna end up in the same problem because a lot of our homes was never designed
I
to
I
withstand.
kind of beg to differ about the codes
Go ahead.
because majority of Jamaicans don't pay attention to any kind of code. Majority of Jamaicans don't get a blueprint made.
Mm-hmm,
They just give somebody an idea and them start build.
mm-hmm,
And even if they get an architect to do it, a
mm-hmm.
lot of them don't submit it to the parish council, so that they can come in and and get somebody to inspect their land because people don't realize you can't just get up and build because you have a piece of land. Your soil, they need to know what kind of soil you have and all of that. This, a majority of Jamaicans don't do that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so they
I,
just get
but
up and build.
right, but that's what I'm saying to you, though. What I'm saying is that they're gonna have to come up with a system that that this type of thing is enforced. You know,
Which,
we can't no, but we have to get there, because then if we don't get to the point where building codes are enforced, what's going to happen again is this will repeat itself, and then the
yeah,
government will get they're going to be pointing fingers at the government. So the government will now have a responsibility to ensure that these codes are
but
enforced.
the
John,
thing is, Mr.
you want baby
Sutherland,
I met
everything
nice
is laxed.
uh John, you want baby I met nice man. John.
My baby.
Oh, you're a baby. Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay. No, me understand. Okay,
The
okay.
problem is, Mr. Sutherland, everything is laxed in Jamaica. If somebody is building and your neighbor and you have your and me and you building, you building, Mr. Sutherland, and me and you have an argument. We go to parish council and report it. Parish council come in,
Mm-hmm.
and then we give you notice if you don't have a blueprint submitted and passed and all of that.
Right.
They put up a letter to stop you from building, and you never see them again. So you can't finish your house. So the problem is that what is put in place is not being kept.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that they're gonna have to enforce these laws, and it is in the best interest of the people. Yes, they will not see it, but until we have an hurricane, which is going to happen again of this magnitude because of global warming, then we will gradually see that the government is protecting us. I heard the prime minister and I was watching something today where the prime minister spoke about because of where they were in terms of the crime and violence. There are different stages and phases through this thing, and so the emphasis was on the bigger thing. Like you, let me say, now I can't quote his words because I don't remember it exactly, but I know what he was saying. The emphasis was on the bigger crime, and so we're getting crime to reduce, and they're going to like utilize the resource in other areas such as like one of the example that was a part of the discussion is a man peeing on the street that he's supposed to get a ticket, right? But because of how they have where the focus lies, they can't even deal with that. You know what I mean? I say? So I am saying gradually we will get to the point where certain laws are enforced. I hope and kept. You know, I'm just hoping to get to that point because until we get to that point, we're gonna be in trouble.
Exactly. Until the law, who's supposed to be the law keepers keep the law. We have problem. Imagine a policeman is arresting you and cursing bad word to you at the same time, which is illegal.
Right?
Those things don't make no sense.
No, no,
People
no.
don't know their rights, and police, the officers play on that, and
Mm-hmm.
people don't. There is a program that comes on um about telling Jamaicans about the law on the radio. But how many of them listen to it? You don't know. You
Right,
don't know.
right.
It's when me a big old greyback woman. I know that okay, where we live in Westmoreland, Darleston is the nearest tax office,
Uh huh.
right? But where we live, to although it's Westmoreland, majority of the people from that side of Westmoreland do business in Montego Bay because it's one bus and you get to Montego Bay.
Right.
It's always to get to Sav or to get to Darleston, right? You have to have a private vehicle
Mm-hmm.
or hire a taxi to get to Darleston, although it's not that far from us.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody told me that when you don't pay your tax in the parish that you're in, like whatever land tax and all of that, the tax go to the other parish that you submit it in. I never know that. So now parish council is in charge of paying for the lights and certain things. If all of us in Westmoreland only take our taxes to Montego Bay, St. James get all that money.
Also,
So
okay.
we need to be more informed because I
No, I
didn't know
think
that that's
hello,
how it works.
hello.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yes.
yeah, go ahead.
I think that had changed now because what they were saying that they are putting all they know how to separate their account whenever it pay because we had that problem years ago. We have couple of years ago we have that problem and they're looking into it and change it. I think
Okay.
it
Well,
was thing.
that's good because people assume that because you live in Westmoreland, you must do business in South, and that doesn't work for people who live near borders and don't have that type of transportation. And for us to know that I live in this parish, but my money going to another parish, it not feel good. It really don't.
Mm.
It really don't feel good.
Else,
You know.
else you would have to
And
put
people don't
either
know the purpose of the parish council. Pardon?
no, but look, you remember because when they move civic out of school and put in religious education.
No, sir.
But
I did both in school.
you did both when?
Yes. I, I
When?
did both religious education and civics in high school.
Mm. Mm.
Some what you find too, which I have found is that some of the schools in the country areas don't get the same as some of the schools in Kingston areas.
Uh, let me
They
see.
have some little differences.
All right. So Upland asked a question. I don't know if any of y'all can answer the question that was asked. She's asking, do you think the government is doing enough?
Well,
Oh, that's it.
I'm
You do
gonna
forward.
say this for the magnitude of devastation that we have. The speed will not look fast, and assessment will take long. Everything is gonna take long. People have no idea how much it takes to deal with 900,000 people, housing people, assessing people. People have to get back their IDs and all of those things before they can apply for grants and all of that. A lot of people don't own their land, or they're not going to get house on a land that they don't own. So there's a lot to be done. And if it's not done properly, we the people same one gonna come and complain.
Right, right, right.
One can only do so much and no more
Right.
with what we have, because one thing we forget is that the police force is short staffed, the JDF is short staffed, our hospitals are short staffed, everything, all of our public services are short staffed.
Right. The school in the country, the school in the country are not funded. The same in every country, rural, rural areas, etc. Somebody is saying that the schools are not funded in the country.
By what? They're not funded by who?
And that's what I'm trying to find out.
Public schools are funded by the government, but not every school that you see is fully public. Some schools belong to churches, and that's what people don't realize. Say, for instance,
Factor fact.
Immaculate is a Catholic school. All those schools you see wear full white and a little blue tie, those are Catholic schools. St. Hilda's High School is a Methodist school. So they're partially funded. They're helped along a little bit by the government. So it's
The
not all
land is
schools
so
are,
fake.
but public schools are public schools and will be getting funds from the government. But it's not much. It's a little bit of money to spread around to a lot of schools.
I am trying to find out what somebody is saying here is that the land is a fake issue, right? They said the lands are a fake issue. Those lands Those one belong to TEG. I'm not too sure what he's saying here.
Not for the devastation, not every land belong to government, not every land. Some lands belong to people who live abroad. Some people have acres and acres of land. I know people in St. Elizabeth have acres and acres of land, and people catch on them not being used. Right? The best way to know who own land is going to land agency and pick out the piece where you want and ask about it.
What do you think? Somebody also saying that they think that the government land should be given to the people. Does that make any sense at all?
Given.
Well, I believe that the government should ordain some sections for living, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but can't be for free though. Can't be for free.
No, Solomon, it cannot be for free.
They've done it in Kingston before, and they make the people then pay a little money for it. They build houses.
But it's not really, Sullivan, it's not really land that people are paying for. It's the infrastructure that is put in.
It's the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Sewage,
it's not the land.
Water.
But the people always say government will give people land. Government cannot give people the land without the sewage and the water and the light not put in. And those are costs.
Place and roads.
Road.
John, she didn't say free, John. She didn't say free.
No, I said when them said the government shall give the people them the land.
Nobody's gonna
no.
the
All
government.
right, let me tell you something, guys. There is somebody on YouTube that text me that saying that you guys not seeing it. Somebody on YouTube saying that the government should give the people land. Right? The government where is it? He said the government where the land is a fake issue. Those are mainly government land and should be given to the people. So somebody on YouTube said that. You guys didn't hear. I'm so
sorry. I don't think the person is thinking it's gonna be free. You know what I mean? Maybe the person just think the government have a lot of land, so they need to severe it. And I wouldn't say give because I don't want to make right. So they just say give, but
free.
Right. But I don't think that person thinking free because infrastructure is a lot of money. So it couldn't be for free. So we don't want to think
at a reasonable class.
Yeah, we don't think it's for
but not for free.
Yes, we don't think it's for free. I don't think the person think it's for free either.
But Colette,
yes,
since last year, since the government had issued a lot of lands that they put in infrastructure and houses.
Where?
Both in Clarendon and I think in Trelawney and I think somewhere up there. It's a lot of land, man. They
I know about I know they were doing the housing thing where I would see. I don't know the details of it, but they would have given incident cutting ribbons and houses and all of that. How does that work? How does that work?
I don't believe in those. You know why I don't believe in those? And John, I know you're gonna come at me, but I'm telling you my honest opinion. There is no all right. For instance, all things get old, and I'm giving her the opportunity to get one of those houses on my property.
Hold on. Sorry for cut your Colette. I hear somebody is saying over here, in case you don't know, every Jamaican is entitled to land under the law. Where you get that from? And it must certainly for free.
I wouldn't say for free because infrastructure, but all of us should have land.
All right, thanks.
All of us should have land.
All of us should have land.
All of us should have land. And I don't believe it's for free.
Yes, Colette. Because of the infrastructure, Colette.
So how this work? Everybody should have land in a growing population. So as at what age what could qualify persons for free land? I would want to hear from this person.
Sutherland, we don't want to say free Sutherland.
No,
Let
we
us put it
Sutherland,
the
we
right
don't
way.
want to go back because Khaled just cleared up a while ago.
That is kind of a backward statement.
Yeah, we don't
Back
want to
in
use
the
the word
days, they
free.
could do that. Back in the days, they could do that. For instance, Seaford Town is named Seaford Town because of Lord Seaford, who owned it, thousands of acres. When they brought the Germans to Jamaica, and the Germans decided that they're not going to be indentured servants, Lord Seaford gave the Germans 3 acres per child. They didn't need infrastructure at the time and all of that. So depending on how many children these people had, they got 3 acres per child. Now these days you need infrastructure. By law, you need infrastructure. And Lord Seaford was giving away his land, not government land, what belonged to him.
Somebody.
We're not back in them days.
Let me just read what somebody said.
Yeah, and then we take Khaled point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. Lady, lady, build 8 house house already. I don't know what you say. Lady build house 8 house already, and the government don't build one yet. That is not just a land issue.
Ladies are probably
She's saying that he's saying that one person build 8 houses for people already, and the government don't build one yet.
I must say, lady, something like that. Okay.
Lady saw.
Okay.
Lady saw.
Yes, John, as I was saying,
But Khaled, me not cut you. Why you hold your point? Please remember this.
Yes, I will.
How could if he's saying lady saw build 8 house already since the pandemic, since not the pandemic, since the hurricane, 8 houses. Under what code was these houses built? Don't we have we should have like a standard code that these houses, especially in those areas where that was affected areas. Well, anyway, in Jamaica right now, because we are hurricane prone.
There is code.
There's code.
So those code was followed for these houses, right?
Maybe it's the container houses.
These houses are quickly being made just to give people shelter.
But they're temporary houses.
They're making it as temporary, but that's what
maybe somebody just bring in something.
Let me give you an
we
example.
Don't expect nobody, so
I've seen people go up on the roof and they put in nail. Now when you nail down these zinc, they're supposed to bend the nail or you get some sort of thing to keep the nail down. They just hammer in the nail and left it straight. So hey, if the breeze blow, the zinc gone again. I think a lot of these places are just giving people shelter, but they are not up to code.
Oh, he said not lady, sir, a lady. Okay, all right, Khaled, go ahead with what you were saying.
And that is because it's she alone can make the decision. When you have a group of people that you have to answer to, it takes longer.
Yeah, an individual can go and build 8 house if they have the property. But the government, I don't think the government would have done that. I can remember I said the government.
We don't come back to that.
The government. Okay, all right, go ahead, Khaled.
Yeah, is almost back to what all things was saying, right? Is you have a piece of land and you give somebody permission to build something, those houses that the government was building, and when the person pass on, the house is not for the person who owns the property. That house is for food for the not food for the poor. What's those people name? I not even remember. And I see that unfair. Why would I wanna just get any random person to come on my land if I give somebody permission to build. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, when they change over again, you were talking, Colin. Yeah, when they change over, like when the person either passed away or decide to leave the house, you're gonna get somebody else to put on the property.
They're gonna get somebody else to put on the property.
Oh, okay. You're talking about those land that was
Right.
issued. Those land that was issued.
No, you remember you were talking
Yeah,
about those cutting a
those
ribbon
cutting
and
a
all of
ribbons
that.
and the
Right,
land
right,
that was
right,
issued. Yeah, right.
right. I don't know if those people who give those people permission really understand what was going on.
Okay, so
Maybe they were just so happy to get the house they wasn't even thinking that was what
so
gonna
so
happen.
so so look, the land will not transfer to a family member. So
No,
a man pass on and him live there with his son. His son don't have the right for it.
no, the poor relief office, they are the owner for that house and your land.
So call it those house are some temporary house. They can remove
No,
are there.
I mean those
No,
are not temporary house. They were concrete
there were
houses,
concrete
John.
houses that was given. So look here. So in order to obtain these houses, you have to basically give poor relief the land.
You don't get poor relief the land. Poor release, they find a way to come in because long as they come and build the house, you're not the owner for that house, but you're the
But
owner for the
you
land.
still own the land.
Yes, but you so whenever John Brown pass on, they bring who they want to bring and that in that house.
So how that makes sense? Let me ask it.
That
Let me give you a scenario.
I do
Figure
not
out
know.
how this makes sense. Because look here. Now the house, my father pass get the house. And
Mm-hmm.
my father, I mean live down a sentence where there my
Mm-hmm.
father, there Manchester and get one house in Manchester. Now
Mm-hmm.
my father pass on and the land and down to me.
Mm-hmm.
The land and down to me. Me no no land and
Mm-hmm.
people and me live. So now me
Mm-hmm.
come back now because he move on. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing me have control over is the land.
Yes,
While
you're not.
while one stranger I go live in it.
Yes.
So
So
where the stranger go walk for garden yard if me no want to walk on my land?
you can't
Where,
stop them because that house belonged to the government. Poor release officer owned that house.
By law, when you give
what
somebody land, you have to give them walkway.
Call it me don't do a research on that.
8 foot or
No,
8 feet.
that was public thing. Was even Desmond Mackenzie was talking about it. That's no
I
privacy.
I remember
That's no private. That's no privacy.
Desmond Mackenzie
Yeah.
had mentioned that he was the
This
one
is
that
not.
mentioned that.
This
I
is
remember
not
that.
new. This is not new in Sutherland. This whole thing is not new. But couple years ago, I don't really talk politics because I just speak general when I'm talking, right?
Right.
But couple years ago, when PMP was in power, I know neighbors who but those were the poor relief houses. Those were board houses. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
So after the person passed on, then somebody take it or the family member move it or something. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
these houses are different houses. These are
Concrete
concrete
structure.
houses. They cannot be moved.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Because
The
yes.
ones food for the poor bill is board.
Yeah, but these wasn't food for the poor. These was the same. What's the name? Oh, I call the name earlier on. Those I'm talking wasn't poor relief. Those were poor relief. I'm not talking about the food for the poor. It's kind of different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so it's a
Yeah,
different
but these
entity
that
that has
yeah,
control over those houses.
right. But these that the government is making now is concrete houses and your property.
And you cannot move them.
And the house is not yours. If your dad pass on or your uncle pass on, it's or the poor relief, they're gonna send somebody to put in that house and it keeps cycling.
But you so as a family member, um I don't lose access to the land though. I just
No,
can't go in the house.
you can't do nothing to the house. You can't add nothing to your house. You can't do nothing because I know your house.
I can't get rid of it.
No, you can't get rid of it.
So that means
I
whoever
can't
live in
understand.
it
I
for
can't
No,
understand
family
that thing
must
like that.
prepare
That
to
that
move.
that
must
can't make no
know.
sense to me.
All you have to do is don't give anybody no permission. Don't give nobody no permission to go bail on your place in that way, because you will have to give them the paperwork and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So don't give them.
That
So that
certainly don't
means
make
if
no
you're
sense to
a
me.
family,
Don't
you
give
must
them.
prepare to leave, even if the person not dead. You must be prepared to leave, save up your money, so that if the person dies, you have place to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but my part of this part, as I said, I speak just general. I do not think the government have done much for the people of, I'm talking about St. Elizabeth. I don't know no other places. I do not think so. And my reason is, even over at Black River Independence Park, which is a lot of land over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could at least make some tent for those people instead of have them on outside with babies, nowhere to sleep. Then they start to harass them in the shelters and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Like by the shelter at the
Right,
school.
right,
I saw a
right,
shelter at the
right. So
schools.
what I see them do, what they do with the land over there, they carry dump from in the town and leave it and store it over there when people could be there. You
So
know
so
what
hold
I'm
on.
saying?
This I thought I heard the prime minister was saying last week when he was uh issuing or cutting some river for some trucks to start moving debris. They were saying that they were gonna have another set of truck for distribution for Black River area to move those debris. I did not know that they started to move them already.
Yeah,
They
man, they started to move them already.
they store it over Independence Park. I think that land space could have used for a better purpose. I'm not saying they couldn't find somewhere to store it, but that should have been used for people who is homeless to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
They're
think
just
I
saying that
honestly
they're
think they should have
temporarily,
find
but
somewhere.
you're saying they didn't have to do it there. They should have put it
No, call it.
somewhere.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, go ahead, guys. May I hear? May I hear now? Go ahead.
Call it. Me think it could use for a better
Oh,
purpose.
yes, I know.
But
Yeah,
one of the
Tell
things,
me
yeah.
some
one
question.
of the things where our government afraid they not call it.
Mm?
That
One of
them
the
and
things
them
where
and
government afraid they
yeah,
not call it.
Is
yeah, I'm
well.
gonna send it on this.
Afraid that bad
I
not
just
call
see
it.
this.
It's like you, if you put piece of a person upon a piece of land now, and you don't come back and sort it out quick now, everybody start build wall house on it.
John, no
Yeah.
Independence Park, not Independence Park.
Mm.
Everybody in a sentence debate know the purpose of Independence
Hold
Park
on.
is
Oh,
not for living.
so what Independence Park is for?
Independence Park is where
Hold
they
on.
have like the
What?
flower
What?
show,
Hold on, Colin.
they have stage
Somebody
show.
called me and asked a question. Just tell me a question again. Let me repeat it. Cause when are you on text with them? Who pay the
Who pay
taxes?
the taxes?
Who?
And them a put house on it. And if somebody else is gonna move into it if I die, who really owns the land? You know, and will that person pay me lease or my family lease?
Well, what they're saying is that so okay, so is it the government? Yeah, that's a brilliant question. All right, if anything, text me. Me I go ask them that question there. No, no, these lands that we're talking about, what she's saying is that these land that we're talking about that the government make some arrangement to put a house on, right? That I know the fact from what Khaled is saying, I am the son of the man, the deceased man. I'm the son of the deceased man. I still have privilege to that. Who has been paying the taxes on that land?
Let I correct you, Sutherland. It's not the government make arrangement. You applied for the house. So
Right.
you have to give the government. I have to say the government because
Right.
it
Yeah.
is
Go ahead.
a
The
right.
government is
You
fine.
give the government your documents.
Mm-hmm.
So without you not applying for the land, the government is not gonna just come and build a house for
For you,
John
right?
Brown. Right.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm saying, a lot of people did not understand it. You know, they may think, oh, when the government come and build a house, I'm the owner of this house. You are not the owner.
And I get that
Yeah.
you're not the owner though.
And the house doesn't pass on to your family member. It does not.
I get that, but for the
Just the
property,
land.
just
You
the land.
is your land. You have to pay all those property taxes. That doesn't change nothing.
Still
Nothing
your
will
land,
change.
but
It's still
not
your land,
infrastructure.
but not the
Not the
infrastructure, not the
not
building that
the
is put
building.
on. The building is owned by the government. So you have to keep on paying your tax. Nothing changes. Apart from the house is not yours. And it does not pass on to your generation either. So when you're giving people permission to build on your place, you have to make sure you get information.
Cross your T's and dot your I's.
So how much of this don't make no sense? May I try to figure out. May I try to figure out how that go, because that
I think
can't
it's
make
more.
absolutely no sense. If that's the case, it sort of sound complicated to me, and it's this can create some conflict.
Couple months
I
ago, if you
think it's
go back
more to
and look on it,
rotate.
yeah,
It's more to rotate without having to rebuild
you're right.
for somebody else. So what it would do is keep the infrastructure in place for the next person.
Mhm.
So there is rotation. Somebody dead, somebody acquires and
So
gets it.
Something,
And so it
you know,
keeps on
But
increasing.
that's dumb. That's well, I think that don't make no sense. If it is true, it
And
don't
them
make
no
no
want
sense.
build no more. It caused them to build less.
but
Yeah,
I was
but
saying, why don't the
Sutherland,
government use their land to build some houses for those people? So they so then me I gonna know say, oh, the land is not the house is not mine. So when I died,
me no, and me still just not understand. So me go and have this land was put on a quarter acre. The house is not mine because then did believe for my father. Now my father move on. Then send one nether man from one place where me not have nothing to do. Me don't even like him. And him
mm-hmm,
can't live at the house. Me
mm-hmm,
can go there go farm up the back of the land and plant me look or something. Private
can do
park and me can
everything,
around there. Me can do everything around there. How much
everything.
of that now go create problem?
You can do everything, but don't think the house is yours.
No, me want to know how much of that now go create problem.
So all those ribbon you see was cutting with those houses. That what happened?
The government has not
but me, it
provided.
to me something no make no sense. This to me.
All those houses you see was cutting. Go check
Somebody
out
said
it.
here, the government has not provided alternative shelter for the people and are putting them out of their current facilities. Seems like total confusion.
Yes, I was seeing that today too. Because
I think it's the
well,
bigger the one they're talking about. The shelter, the school that the government, Desmond Mackenzie said they
The
want
schools.
The one the schools
to
to reopen. So
well
what
to
are
the
the alternatives though?
I think those people, get some materials or so, they get material to
John,
start
what
to
is
But
the
set up.
but
material,
what is
John?
material though, John?
John, come get real. What is
Lumber.
material?
All right, Colin,
Lumber.
let me
They
ask you this.
should be
Let me ask
they
you this, Colin.
should be getting lumber. Let me not say they get it. They should be getting lumber because 70 million worth of lumber was contributed by I don't remember if it's Edge Kemar, one of them chemical
Is
cane
it
companies.
is it
And they were supposed to distribute it so that people could be building.
But instead of distributing the material, right? Why don't they just make some little houses give these people? Like how the soldier them would have just come and just make some little, like how food free poor would have just have them material and just come make some little 2 bedroom or 1 bedroom house give the people them.
Well, the
Because you need the
soldiers are now
school.
being
You need the
they
school.
did
They can't be in the school forever. They can't be in the church forever. You know what I'm saying? So, but you cannot take them out and put them where they're going. When you give
Khaled.
them material,
Khaled, is it the government? And I think I asked this question the other night. I don't remember exactly what the answer was. Is it the government responsibility to provide houses for all these people that
No,
was affected by the hurricane?
no, they are
it
not.
is
So
But
not
why
there
are
are a
you
lot of
suggesting? Why
entities
are you suggesting that when they move them out of the shelter, they should be putting them? They should build them
because
somehow.
sometimes the government have to chip in because a lot of
have to
people
chip in at this point.
cannot. Yes, this is
Yeah.
emergency.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
you have the
I believe in that.
soldiers. You could
I
use
believe in
them
that,
to
Saddam.
build some houses. You could for the poorer class of people who cannot help themselves. You can't take them out. Me say I want 1 foot woman. Where you sending her to? You giving her material. What she gonna do with the material, John?
Yeah,
Well,
but
the
Khaled,
government did
remember
say
That is
remember the
where
church and everybody have to chip in and the people
that
them have
is
to help them
where
people them.
the something they chip in now. Me always
I
can
heard
remember
the
the name.
prime minister say that they're putting the soldiers in to build houses. So they got some yeah, I must have 5 different units they're gonna have separated. Some engineers, yes, engineers from the JDF to help with building homes
Okay. Oh,
for
they are in a
people.
compound now. Doing. They are in a
What am I
compound
do?
working now.
Everybody there upon Cho.
A compound. A compound.
Why everybody is in one place?
All of that. So I don't know what is happening with Westmoreland. Me have to do some more research because a couple of days now, catch up on it.
I don't know, but
I don't
even
understand that.
and as you were saying about if the government is supposed to build house, Sutherland, you live here. You live in the state here. You know there are low income houses here, which is the government subsidize or whatever. You know that, right?
Subsidized.
So the government have to chip in. You can't put these people on the road. You cannot have them living on a tent. The government have a lot of land.
They
Yeah,
should be building
but
homes like
Building
what
some
them build in
company and charge the people
right.
them.
yeah,
Nothing is
but
free.
Khaled, that is going to be in place now,
The
Khaled.
government have the
That is
money.
going to
Government
be
need to start now,
yeah,
John.
but
They need to start. They're not doing nothing.
Khaled. It
You
is
can't
not
start
so the
without an
government have to
architectural
start by
plan.
putting infrastructure. So
Khaled,
if the prime minister come
I
out, load
honestly
them
believe that
things them
it's
to
too
you know.
early for house build. It's way too
Yeah,
early considering
really, man.
all that gonna have to happen.
Sutherland, a lot of
There's a
people
lot
out the
of
door.
you're going to forget the blueprint that for the areas.
Sutherland, a lot
Yes,
of people
that's
Yeah, a
outside.
lot
A
of
lot
people,
of
but
people
yeah,
you
Yes,
but
can't.
I
You
but
still that
you
don't
you
know,
still
cannot
man.
give the
but
people without
you still have to be
infrastructure.
structured. You still have to be
But where
structured.
you gonna put them
Look,
then?
the
You have to have
government
somewhere
had
to
get
put
an
them then,
engineer
John.
team are ready to
I
start
believe that
the process.
the government need to
We get
find
an
some
engineer
temporary
team.
shelter for them.
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
against that.
saying. Yeah, you have to
But
put
you
them
can't.
somewhere.
It's too early for house bill, in my
Well,
opinion.
you have to put them somewhere, Sutherland. Early or not early, you have to have them somewhere.
There's somebody saying
They
by
can,
If
the
they
government by now should have built temporary shelters by now
of
so that
course, of
they
course.
can vacate the schools.
Yeah,
I
I
believe
think
so. The government
yeah.
said no housing is coming until the end of January. So what happened until then?
I think the
I think
hurricane
that
has kind of shocked the government in that we are so used to having hurricanes where schools and churches have been used as shelters
squelching
and so
100.
people
Yeah, go ahead, may I
and so
hear?
people had places to go, and so you could have they could have moved people from schools into churches.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the hurricane destroyed so many places, there's nowhere to go.
True.
But the simplest thing to do, we have empty warehouses. Jamaica have empty warehouses. Why not put the people? Yes, bathrooms may not be there, but get some porta potties.
Some temporary bathroom.
Get some porta potties and some quick temporary bathroom. We have empty warehouses that are not being used. Where the government has the ability to take whatever they want from wherever they want and say, we are going to take this for this moment in time and use it. Since you are not using it, use them. Use the warehouses.
But
move
one of the
people
things
around because people are not working, so it's not like they have to. They need.
Yeah, but I haven't seen none of the caretakers, there none of the MP them come out and make any suggestion. You understand
Because
me?
they don't know what to suggest.
But they're there for that. They're there for that. Not they're there for when the government falls short and
John,
to see things
you
that the
listen the
government is
news
not
and
doing.
you see the news and you see they don't even give these people time to have a conversation.
Hello.
You see in Parliament what is happening. Nobody have time can talk about nothing.
Start with container house about I think Adalistan them get container house. But the thing is you're not going to get as much as we need. Because for use container houses, you have to put in the infrastructure for the container houses, because the container houses come with bathroom and kitchen. So before you put it down, you're going to have to put in some sort of sewage system.
I think the price is on the paper. Let me look at the
what? Them have to dig hole and they have to make a concrete flooring so that they can tie the container down and that kind of stuff. So it's still not going to be as quick as we would like it to be.
No, it's not going to be as quick as we and a lot of people get some liquor stuff. You think then get something
right. It's not like a private house where you can say, okay, our private, it's not always going to be private land. And private land you could get two drum and dig a hole and put the two drum on top of each other and call it sewage and make it soak down into the ground. But it's not everywhere that they can do this. And yet they also going to have to get tank for the house to supply clean water. And these places don't have pipes. A lot of these lands don't have no water running through it. So there are a lot of things to consider. No matter how
time to come up with a comprehensive
no matter how our hearts bleed for our people, infrastructure, have a proper infrastructure. Because we say one going to turn around and cuss them, and say, "Oh, should I did think about that? Oh, should I did do this and do
I
that?"
didn't hear that question before. I was a little bit off.
No, we are saying
there
that
wasn't a question.
We are saying that no, we're elaborating and saying that even though the container house, the government is giving the container house, they have to properly some infrastructure have to put in order to make it suitable for the people to.
Well, but John, I know. Do you think out of a container house and a board or a block house, which one would be more?
You can't think about board is not an option given.
Board is not an option.
The board can't be an option anymore.
The black house is better, and I don't call it something. I don't believe in those containers.
I don't believe in container either.
Yeah, I don't believe in it, call it. You understand?
The container fly during this hurricane.
I don't believe in. I don't think people should live in containers. I don't think so.
When me see the amount of container fly, me just don't believe in it.
Because how can they hold these down permanently?
They should really be tied. They really should be tied when they put down. But we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I don't think this container thing is going to help out well.
And again, based all right, for instance, you know a lot of land in Westmoreland are lease land. So
Yeah.
so you know the container might work there. But
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think the
for
container is
temporary, call it,
for temporary
because the
thing.
amount of money what they are charging for the container, $3 million, that can build you a better, a nice little wall house and deck.
Okay. Let me read something here from Manika Balai. Dennis, I am listening to your program. Please help me to understand if someone build a house on my property. Does that mean I have I have to I have to know basically I have no control over my property anymore. I have no control over my property anymore. Who pay the taxes for the property? Okay, I think we covered that question already. Because you're saying that they have no control over the property.
Yeah, control over property, but
you
not
have
the government house.
but you don't have no control over the house. No, I'm getting a lot of text. I think I just gain access to it, but I think the question they were
Mr.
answered already.
Sullivan, you have to say government house, because when the person just say build, if it's a private person, you're talking about leasing up somebody the space, but we're talking about houses that are being given by a certain institution.
Right. Okay.
So they need to get that.
One person said the container is pure foolishness, which I sort of share that sentiment because how can we hold on these container structures? Because I think that container can build a house, but if we can use a container for the house, why not build the board house and just to see them and try to build them stronger? Which they will feel, but the containers will feel just the same.
Yeah,
So is the container house temporary?
No, but Sutherland, it all depends what we are using them to do. If we are using them for the temporary solution, it is better than the board house. But
yes,
but if we are going to use them as a permanent structure, it's, to me, it's not gonna work out. It's pure foolishness and madness.
It can be permanent
especially if they're
structure.
close to the
It cannot
sea.
be. Yes, it cannot be permanent.
So
It's just a temporary
unless
structure
that
for now.
temporary. So
Yeah.
then when if one hurricane should I come during the time when it is occupied on that temporary basis, then they're going to have to move them out of that place and send them go on shelter.
Yes.
Same thing will go happen again.
Yeah.
Because it
Why
serves
not build a concrete house?
Yeah, it is no different from the board.
Because my house, Sutherland, the only problem, I'm close to the beach. And the only thing happened to my house was just one of the window broke. Because I have a deck top.
Right.
So I see pictures that haven't been down there, but a lot of those houses were board houses and they all disappeared.
Well, there was
Squilch
one,
is saying at this stage anything must be permanent. At this stage, let me try to process that. At this stage, anything, basically any farmer house should be permanent at this stage. What is your take on that?
No, you're not going to get, because Sutherland, you need something quick and fast now. Quick and fast.
But quick and fast. What time the hurricane season start though?
The hurricane is going to start in
June is hurricane.
June the hurricane season start. So you're going to bring in some house in that January for dismantle them in that June?
Well,
these container homes are by the Chinese, and if we allow them to be the one to put in the infrastructure, it might just work. We don't know. Them very skilled. And them we're buying them from. And they're going to come with special instruction as how to put them down.
Well, he's saying that
They have to
this
be
person
tied
is
down.
saying that quick can also be permanent. I honestly don't think at this
No, it
stage.
can be permanent.
Uh,
Metal rotten. Can be permanent. Metal rot.
No, he said basically saying a quick solution can also be permanent. I honestly don't think
No, it
I don't
can't.
think a quick solution is a quick permanent solution right now. I don't think they're ready for that.
That's too separate.
That
That's too
definitely I
separate
gotta take
thing.
time.
Yeah, that's too separate. Yeah.
Now,
Because
it
if
takes
you're
how we
gonna
just-
use a container, you know, it might give you 10, 15 years before it start rotting. If you build up a concrete structure, nothing is gonna happen to it really. As long as you build it good, make sure you put column in a hit, cause we have to talk about that because a lot of people have concrete house. Yeah, have concrete house where mash down because no steel, no night, no column, no night fit tie, nothing. So it pop down just like a board house. Because I see houses in my local surrounding where pop down, drop a dot. I'm like, is this really a concrete house? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, man, they cut short and put
They don't put no steel in it. They
it.
don't put no steel in it. The house don't have no
And
column.
you see, that's the other thing. Lack of knowledge is a terrible thing.
Shortcut, man.
Sometimes a mother is there gathering her little susu money, or what we call it again? What we call susu again?
Partner.
Our little partner money, right? And she's a woman just at work, and she pull her little steel and she pull her cement and her stuff together. And she asks a man for do it for her. And the people them so commotion that them rob them. Right? She don't know say steel for go down in her blocks. She don't know say all of the pockets them must be filled. She don't know that she need beam and column. Right? So, people do desperate things in desperate times. She just want a roof over her kid's head.
Yes.
And this is where educating our people is very, very, very important.
In Khaled, we need one
to educate our people.
Yeah, with Khaled, we need a big housing project in Westmoreland, and we need one in St. Elizabeth and one. We need some big housing project that can hold that is not temporary, it's permanent housing structure. You understand me?
And that cannot be quick. That cannot be quick.
That cannot be quick. And once we get that out of the way, then we that problem.
John, you can't say that can be quick, because I see some houses. I know this guy. They're doing some houses. I'm not sure if it's Kingston or Old Harbor, right? Those houses that they use the frame to frame out, and he told me one it take like a
prefab we call it.
Yeah,
where the concrete is already wall is already made.
No, the wall is not made. You make the wall. You pour the cement in it and make the wall. But they
have the one. She's talking the one with the farm them.
Right, so the one with the farm them.
Yeah, so where you put down and you do the
guy said it take like 3 days to
Khaled, but this is what I'm saying now, Khaled. Wherever you're going to, it takes 3 days to do the house, but it takes months to put in the infrastructure. He's not telling you that. Yeah. It's not because you have to put in storm drain, Khaled. You have to put in sewage. And you have to put in your light post and then something that can go in last.
But you have to understand, desperate time call for desperate message,
No,
so you can't start the building them and then you get some man to just start with same time, start everything.
Government cannot work like that.
It
can't work like that because it would be breaking the law.
Yeah, call it. And if you flood out, you don't have problem with the same people there.
No, when I look say it, I go flood out. You go no land we flood out for our land.
No, call it. Once you start build housing, and you don't put in the storm drain,
the structure of the land.
It changes the structure of the land. It changes it, call it. Trust me. You see, storm drain is very, very, very important.
Well, something need to happen.
I think something needs to happen.
People them can't out of do anything have to happen. Something have to happen.
You see the storm drain in the Sutherland. You see, remember, say we have more rainfall than hurricane now. And you see, if you don't put in the storm drain the Sutherland,
Yeah.
not even when the rain fall, you can't come out from your house.
Give me my change whenever you get it.
Right.
Okay,
You
thank
can't
you.
come out of your house.
Thank you,
Uh-huh.
Gracelyn.
Yeah,
But you know,
that storm drain is
I
very
don't have any
important.
either.
Yeah?
Okay.
but you know,
Good.
I was
Hold
looking.
on, hold on, Colette. Good evening, Miss Gracelyn. How you doing?
Already, and I keep my
Hello, dear Sutherland and dear guest, John T. and Colette.
Hello.
Hi,
Yes.
good
Hi.
night.
Nice to meet you all. All things possible.
Hello, Miss Gracelyn. How are you?
We're just here. The truth is, my primary objective to open this conversation is to try to highlight some of the, the, the positive things that is happening in the space at Jamaica.
Objectively.
It's sort of very difficult, as I explained earlier, to get that in without inserting politics, because persons on the panel will come on and put into their political lenses.
And when that start, I'm gone.
Yeah, I know, Colin. And so that's what I want to minimize as much as possible the political side of things where people are. I want to be talking about what I want to be talking about the positiveness that is taking place and how can we improve and what is needed. It has to be in the best interest of the Jamaican people. I don't want to be criticizing any government, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you because what's happening right now, I think the fact that the hurricane just came and people are overwhelmed and traumatized and have this displacement going on,
Yeah.
then that is so overwhelming that that takes precedence right now. So they're not seeing anything the government is doing. They're not seeing anything that private organizations are doing. They're not seeing anything that individuals or corporations are doing because of the overwhelming, traumatizing situation.
I
And as
honestly,
Paulette mentioned, you try not to bring politics in, but once you mention the name of a politician or the prime minister, it's going to
lean to that.
seem like you're discussing politics.
Right. It's sort of hard, but I honestly think that there's a lot of things that is happening in the space that is overlooked and even ignore. Looked on TikTok and I was mentioning because the things that I did, I even do a video on it. I did a video on it where I was talking about the things that people are not seeing that is happening, because what I see on TikTok is and on social media is desperate people. People want this, people want that, people not getting this, people not getting that. And nobody what when I was there, what I saw, I have not seen it on TikTok and Facebook. What I saw is JDF trucks going around giving away care packages. No, I don't see that on TikTok. Nobody talks about that. And I'm not a political person. Nobody
Yeah,
talks about
I
it.
know.
Call it, if you can mute, call it.
ain't that hard of hearing.
Oh yeah, and nobody talks about. And I'm looking from my list here, from the list of things that I saw, and I make comparison with that TikTok, because there's a lot of false narrative being pushed also from my observation. Like the JDF trucks I mentioned earlier, that is issuing care packages. There are also helicopters that was flying around, dropping off this, doing that. Nobody talks about world food that employ thousands of people, and I said thousands of people, yes, that employ thousands of people and distributing meals, right? Nobody talks about the medical ships that are there and all these temporary medical structures that was put up to facilitate the medical needs of the people. Nobody talks about that and TikTok and social media. There is major work that was happening when I was there, as far as JPS have a whole heap of people
Is
is going on. That JPS have a whole heap of people from different color, race, and everything They're working hard, but they were working in where I classify as the economic hub, where the town and all
Yeah.
those places, trying to get them up and running again so that people can resume closer to normal. They would not get to normal, but a closer to normal life where they could probably get back to work. Nobody talks about that. The churches are there doing a lot. Nobody talks about that. There's the French. There is some water purification or water filtration system. Nobody talk about that. You know, and American soldiers were there. I don't know if they're still there doing their part. But no, all you can see is a desperation coming out there, and I sort of did not like that because I have seen something totally different from
Right.
what is all over social media, and I have a problem with that. And I'm not political, but I'm saying there's a lot of people that are getting help. When I was there, I went there to give away, yes, and I did not see beside one set of people out in the White House here. I mean, never trust them. If he said no man out there, we didn't want to put them man, I go on to that thing. If he said she has scammed the thing, that was the only person that I saw begging, and I'm talking about I went there during the prime time, 11, 12 o'clock in the day. I was passing through those areas and I did not see anything of that sort. What I saw is there were strategic places that they had put up in Black River and other towns where people would have farm line to collect supplies. So, for example, you take supplies there. There is a place that you could give it to that give to the people. You don't have to be walking around. You could take it to a church where people already gather, getting items and stuff. I saw an organized distribution system when I was there. I'm not making it up. I saw it with my eyes. I did not see anybody begging. The truth is, though, I went there just over close to 4 weeks after the hurricane. Don't know if that makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Sutherland, what you saw on the ground, I saw on social media. You could see them on Facebook, and that also depends on who you have on your social media.
Okay.
JDF has a page, JPS have a page, JIS have a page, and the Prime Minister have his own page on Instagram, and then you will see what is really going on.
Right.
I
You're
know
right.
that in East,
You're right.
I
You're right.
have
You know,
them
hold on a
on my
second. All things.
Facebook page. I post anything that I saw that was positive. I reposted it because the observer would post it, and you have the gleaner. So it depends on what people have on their page. If you don't have the right things on your page, you only have dancehall. That's all you're gonna see.
And so one other thing is, like you said, you have to go to the JDF page, you have to go to the JCF, you have to go to and that is true. That is true, and I know that. I know that's where you could get the actual information from. But what you're seeing from the liquor people, that takes over TikTok and advertising and selling their narrative, that's not what they're showing. They're not showing it. And one other thing I noticed too, those people that is collecting from the trucks and all of that, they don't want to be on camera. I was not able to get a picture from them when I was there. You can't even go down there if you go close to the truck if you're not collect something. And I
And
saw
then
that.
again, there's also survival of the fittest, right?
Mm-hmm.
My family is in Jamaica, and I can tell my daughter will say, "Mommy, some people are getting twice." Even the world now, some things didn't really go right because the conference center is all the way in Montego Bay. And if you were to carry food from Montego Bay all the way up to Darliston and places like let me say Darliston, by the time the food gets up there, because they don't really have the warming stuff, The food is cold. One of the time we hear say the food might have been a little sour. People were throwing away the food and they just wanted apple and water and that kind of thing. And then there were some people who, they're old people, who can't come out to come get the food. So you had people who were taking packages twice and other things. So some people will say them never get because what? They never heard that the people were coming. They weren't fit enough like older folks. And some people don't say, me take a package from Mass Joe. So some people live in such rural places. Nobody now go up there, so them can't get up there because it is black. They had places like Catadupad where people were marooned. They had bodies up there and helicopter had to go and take it out. So when people say them never see we never see no search and rescue. The people who came down in search and rescue teams had their own page, right? Where even the next day after the hurricane, I got a picture of a helicopter landing in eastern Westmoreland, but I think they were dropping off Starlink so that people could communicate. Me have the pictures, right? So me not really have to prove nothing to anybody other than them if them want to see pictures.
So there's this person on YouTube is saying the things that I spoke about, those are not government intervention, bro. They're
not government intervention, but they need permission from the government to operate. Let us not be foolish.
Okay.
When America send down their soldiers, they're not just going to send them and push them on us. They have to get permission. First of all, American dogs are not allowed in Jamaica by Jamaican standard. Any animal from any country that ever have rabies is not allowed in Jamaica. And they allowed them to come in to help with the search and rescue. And now they're gone because search and rescue is over. For those who don't know. That's how our search and rescue went, because they came in with their dogs.
If the government don't get support from their international partners,
they wouldn't get nowhere.
They won't get nowhere. So what these people are saying, government, look here, enough of them expect the Prime Minister and Mr. Val to put on their water boot and come out and go search and rescue. That's why they're saying that the government, and that is stupidness, that is foolishness.
Those people
don't have enough manpower. We don't have enough manpower.
They're going. I heard people said. I heard people say that the Prime Minister
trained manpower.
The Prime Minister came and did not give any this and any that. I couldn't understand that crap, because I think that the government was gonna the Prime Minister would have go with his team, make an assessment, and then go back and dedicate. We never expect him to carry water for so and
yeah, but look how quick Mr. Valls and the rest of them get the airport up and running, so help could come in, aid could come in. Yeah. So I don't know what people are talking about.
I remember aid even came in before the airport was open, you know.
Yeah.
Shaggy could have come with him jet. The private jets could come in, but the cargo planes couldn't come in yet until the airport was properly passed, that the tarmac can manage them and that the infrastructure is there for them to operate.
One person said the same person has said the government does not get credit for other people's donation, merely for privilege and permit. Okay.
No, but
they can't get
what
for other people's work.
All the things the things that the government put in, all of those places were blown down. All the where them put in the care package and stuff like that for help. All of those facilities were blown down. Then they behave like say the government will come in and if we start jump out a helicopter and stuff.
You understand? We don't have helicopters. We don't have enough helicopters. We have 5.
If I may just interject.
Yes, quiet.
As I said it in the comment and before, because the disaster is so overwhelming, it's a Cat 5, people are desperate. And I flew down there myself to get my mom because she too was caught in the hurricane. And I cried when I got on the plane. And when I landed in Montego Bay and I saw the greenness, I said, oh my God, there's hope. There's hope. There's greenery. And I asked my driver if he could just drive into the areas that were mostly devastated.
Somebody's tapping.
Yes, actually, I was. Let me just stop tapping. By the way, guys, if we could all tap so DR Sutherland could get out there.
Yeah,
So if you mute your microphone and keep tapping, that's a great way for the engagement to be sent to the FYP and to send to TikTok and all TikTok's people. So I won't tap while I'm talking. But as I was saying, yes, I cried when I got on the plane because it was extremely overwhelming. And having had my mother who went down and was trapped in the hurricane, or a roof went, and our little district was severely battered. Now, people are not thinking about, okay, they're thinking about, yes, what the government can do for them and so forth, because they were desperate. They're desperate. I went the other day and spoke to someone who is in the Bahamas who said, listen, I couldn't reach my grandmother, I couldn't reach my mother, I couldn't reach anyone because the phone lines were down. And he's just one of many. And his family was displaced. As you mentioned, Colette, so many were marooned, roads impossible. When I was going down to St. Elizabeth, because I'm from deep rural border St. Elizabeth and Westmoreland, we had to turn back because some of the roads were still impossible. And I'm talking about a week ago. And things were still bad. So here's the thing that I'm saying. Your platform here, dear Sutherland, can bring awareness. However, the vast majority of people right now are thinking about the desperation, the trauma. And we have to understand, I had several dreams about my mother prior to the hurricane, during the hurricane, and after the hurricane. And I felt that I had to go personally. And yes, she was traumatized like so many people. And I was able to take her back with me. Not many people are able to do that. And some people are still in positions where they cannot get out of their house. I visited a few people. Some are sick and desperate. And I'm looking through their roofs at the sun. I've gone into homes myself personally, where in Jamaica, we think a little mildew is fine. It's mold that will make people sick. So, so many houses are like that. I went to my brother's house. He said, the entire roof is gone, mold hanging down. I said, brother, you've got to take down this, we call it in Jamaica, the solitex, or the ceiling thing. It's all black. That's mold right there. So you and your wife are going to be sick. Take them down. In my own family home, I had to say to my brother, listen, I went down Sunday and I came back Tuesday. I said, Monday morning, we're getting up and we're taking out all this furniture. When you look at the furniture, they're like sore foot. Let me just get into my Jamaican language right now. They're like sore foot, busting and swelling. And, I said, they have to be taken out because they're filled with mold. They can get you sick and so forth. Take them out, cut them out, and burn them and so forth. So some people, I rode on his bike in the immediate district and said, "Oh my God!" I was asking, "Where is our cousin's house that is over there?" Totally gone, totally gone. So here's what I'm saying. I know you have a platform to bring that awareness, but the vast majority, I saw so many houses flattened, churches flattened, my own church and several others, no roof. And sometimes people go in and whatever they could get, they take them away. I wanted to do something right on the ground to make some meals. So I went over, we had an outside kitchen at our church, went there to see, it was flattened, no roof, nothing and so forth. And I said, okay, based on sanitation and other things, it's just not at the time for me to do some of the things that I want to do. So with all due respect, I want to say, yes, help is there, but it seems so minimal compared to the damage and the trauma. And people are still crying. And Jamaicans have a tendency to say, everything good, man, everything good. And I mentioned the sore foot here is an analogy to say, all when they're suffering, all when there's pus coming from the sore under their pants, under their skirts, they're still saying, be good man, everything good. One guy I spoke to as I was going through, he said, listen, my wife and my kids, a family of 7, he said his entire roof gone, nearly running in his child's foot and all of that. But he said, I'm still glad to me alive because I'm my wife and I pick them all right, but we lose everything. So what I'm saying here, when the aid is coming, when I did a little video with the Prime Minister visiting Black River, that is totally wiped out. That is my immediate town. Well, that is totally wiped out and so forth. A young man from my community died from a heart attack the other day because of the devastation. He had a stroke. Young guy. And he got to Black River. Even though the help is there, Mr. Sutherland, the help is there on the ground. They had to fly him to Mandeville, which was good. By the time he got there, and his family members to come, he was left out there, nobody to identify him or whatever, because the helicopter took him. No one identified him and was left there. He died. So these are traumas that the people are facing. So, it is such a sad situation that my family home was used as an area twice for help to come in, right? A doctor who I happen to know, she went with her team and offered some help, right? Mm-hmm. That is great. Another agency came in and they were giving out zinc, right? Because they said, my brother, did you receive anything? He said, yes, I got five zinc, and they came and stole it right from the yard and so on. So yes, things are happening. I see at my old school, my primary school, I see help come there and people gather and they line up and so forth, and they get some aid. So your platform can help to bring that awareness, but people are not even thinking that, oh my God, this is great. Yes, they're grateful, they're happy, but when you have no place to sleep,
sure.
When you have no place to sleep, when you do not have the basic necessities of life, you're not thinking about what the government is doing or what JP is or what this agency is coming and doing, because you're living outside. You are left to the elements.
You're outside.
It's really the people outside of it that is making most of the noise. But I saw something the other day, and I'm wondering why the government doesn't get this. The army always have tents. Why don't they get more tents and use it and get some for the people?
I said the same thing too.
Nice big tents, that can host families, that can house individual people, and just put them in an open lot.
That's why I was saying Independence Park would be a great place for all of that. Because the park is big. There's a lot of land over there.
That's for down there. So, but we have all over. You have Westmoreland, you have St. James. That still
but in every parish you have big sports field and all of that where they can always put something up.
Can always put something up. And same place they get these tents for the army. They could get more army tents and get cuts, because
it's emergency. You have to source things. Source things.
Since people are gonna have to leave the schools and that kind of thing, or rent, just get something. Because we know that the permanent thing is going to be so difficult.
They give out a lot of tarpaulin.
John, tarpaulin is tent. John, come, John. Tarpaulin is tent?
No.
What is tarpaulin? Tarpaulin just have to put on a flat surface.
It depends.
We're talking about a tent.
On the type of tarpaulin, because you have more than one type of tarpaulin, and I don't think the one that they're giving out is the strong one.
No, this is just the straight flat one that you nail on your house top or something.
The latex one way easy. That's harder to
John, that's why I said when we're talking, we just have to talk it straight, The government need to do more. A lot of the people, they already fixed their house top. A lot of the people who can afford, because my brother went down and fixed my mom's house top. A lot of people already fixed their house top, but still you have the poorer class of people who don't even know which way to turn.
Well, this is why I believe in adopting a family. And I think if people go around within the communities that they are from, and if they can say, let me adopt a family, and say, okay, I'll help with this roof, and another groups help with that roof, would get somewhere. But if everybody sit and just waiting on the government or just waiting on somebody else to do it, nothing will happen.
And a lot
Other
of
than
these
people
people
getting
too,
tarps.
they don't want to left their foundation. Although it's such a foundation right there, they don't want to left it. So you
Yeah,
give them a
I
tent
noticed that.
to put it on, or you make up a tent on their foundation. Because a lot of people, they want to hold on to the liquor that they have left.
Yeah, I realize that.
Because I'm from Southwest St. Elizabeth, so I'm like closer to the border, so that side get a big hit. And as Grace saying, she's from the border, so we're close by.
My family is up in the mountains, and my granddaughter, her great grandfather died in the hurricane. His house fell on
I
him.
see a young taxi guy died.
Yesterday,
They say Brenton died. A lot of young people died. They're so stressed.
Yesterday, my stepfather was buried. He got sick the day after the hurricane. I think he overdid in the preparation. But let's not before that. I saw a thing when Vaz was going around and other people were going around and looking at assessment. There were some people who they had tied down their board houses they have. I don't remember what part of St. Elizabeth that was, but somebody came up with the genius of tying down the roofs with sandbags, and nobody on that street roof moved. They put like tried sand in the bags and tied 3 bags, and they throw the bags across the roof to the back, crisscross it across the roof, and nobody on that road lost neither their house or their roof. So there are ways that even if you build board, you can be
I mean, not even know. Come see container blow away. I mean, know 3 bag of sand. How much can 3 bag of sand?
They weren't tied down. No, it was more than 3 bag of sand. But I'm saying for one piece of rope, they had 3 bag of sand, and the next rope to the right, 3 bag of sand. To the back of the house, that is attached to the back of the house with another 3 bag of sand. I don't remember it which news I was watching, and I saw, and the man was so enthralled with the fact that these people on this street, nobody lost their roof because they all did the same thing of strapping down their roof using sandbags. So in all, they would have used around 12 sandbags per house.
Right.
So people were innovative, but not everybody get the same thing, you know?
I see this guy who's staying on my house. He said he has some jump on over by his house, and he said he find the jump on way down by Frontier. So everything was broken
with water, man. You know.
Do you know that the entire border was flattened, and it was some concrete structure that they put up there, so our half concrete, every piece of concrete move and gone, every piece.
Then you see beside the library of Black over there, that's a medical school right over there. And when I see that building look like some boom job and mash up them the building there, I'm like, really? Even the road, even the courthouse.
Huh? And look at those new houses.
No building is on that stretch.
Wow.
Look at those new houses that these people should, I think they should sue housing trust for selling them people.
What you think the government should do with down there, son? What plans the resident? Because the town hall meeting and stuff like that, where you can come together and
John, remember all those buildings have owners, right?
Yes.
So that is up to the owner. I don't think that is up to the government.
So, Khaled, you think no, it's up to the government to see. Remember, each housing have to go through parish council to do it. You understand me, Khaled?
Yeah, we all know that. We all know that.
Yes, so guess what? And there's something in Jamaica that we are not doing again now. When the government used to come round and test this side to see what and how far and what structure can work on it. You understand me? So that is one of the plan now. When parish council come on, then use a piece of, like a steel and push down in the ground, and then they take the sample and carry back to the lab, and then they tell you what structure you can put on that. So even though it's private one, I'm saying that everything have to go through the government. So
I know that, John.
Yes,
but that is not the government fault, John. I remember, so the people not submitting their plan to the parish council as they should. So that is the people's fault and not the government fault.
No, and I'm saying to you, and I understand that, but me want to take the politics out of it, and that's why I ask Khaled directly. What can we do as citizens when we go to the town hall meeting and talk with the
remember, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but remember, the land, what you call them, those engineers, right?
Yes.
Have worked with those architect, right?
Yes.
Right. So they will have to do what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Although everybody is gonna every part of the sector, you still have the government, because those people parish council working for the government, right? So they just have to make sure they comply with whatever infrastructure they were planned to do.
On the land are not submitting their.
Well, they would have to, because it cannot go through if they don't. This is a new town now, so you have to follow the information those engineers give you. You cannot do without.
I understand.
And call it.
Jamaicans are not keeping the law, and that's where the problem comes.
Switch system. Black River do not have a switch system also. So we don't need a switch system.
Well, John, that town was made a long time ago. So as time goes by, things have to change. So if they have to make a sewage system, they have to make one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But is it the government currently thinking of doing something with Black River? I think prior to the hurricane, because Black River is a town for St. Elizabeth, they're planning, from what I gather, to make that an established town. And so the government has a foot in there to...
Before the hurricane?
Prior to the hurricane.
Okay.
But isn't that still the plan, to do something with the infrastructure and to make the town somewhere that will allow tourist attraction and all of that?
I don't think I don't think the people then receive that well. They didn't receive it well.
I'm saying here, awareness is key. If a briefing is put out there on the air, on the radio, and it's announced and so forth of what the plans of the government is and so forth, that could help to bring the awareness. So if people don't understand what is happening, they're going to be confused and not be responsive as they should. And just to flip back to what is happening with the hurricane, I know as I talk about things that the government is doing right now, they're asking for information to be submitted so assessors could go around and assess the damage to individual houses and so forth. And I heard where the Prime Minister was talking about, helping people to get their land titles and so forth. So as you're talking about what is the government doing, and most people are not talking about that's one of the things that is being done, but it's not, most people are not aware. And here's the other thing, and I was on the ground experiencing that, where somebody in the community who has access to internet and so forth, there's no internet service primarily there. And if people are not aware, most people in those deep rural, they don't have access to the internet and so forth. So some of them are going to lose out because they don't know, they're not aware. But I happened to be in passing and heard, okay, the government is going to be sending around assessors to assess the damage done to individuals' homes and so forth. So I said, wait a minute, here, we need to be in on that as well. So I spoke to that individual. I said, okay, please see what you can do for X, Y, and Z. Get the information, submit the information they need, their TRN and other things to be submitted. But how many people are aware of that? Those folks who have been marooned and are still marooned and so forth. It's not getting to so many in the deep rural that are affected. So how can that form of
Especially that they
service
don't have any
be
light.
done?
You raise a good point. So when he say that people must bring in that doesn't make no sense, because there's no light. How people, a lot of people, all their document had already washed away. How would they get those information? People don't want to hear about that right now. People want to just find somewhere to sleep. That's what people want, somewhere to live right now.
Yeah, but the government, Khaled, remember, the government is an agency and is a body,
Yeah.
The information is not reaching the people, John.
Because you hear we talk about some package that give out and people get double, triple package.
Yeah, go ahead, guys.
Yeah, so they have to find somewhere, either then get a justice IPs or somebody to verify certain things. College,
there's no info.
Yeah.
John, the information is not going out. How the information is going out when there is no electricity?
Yeah,
that is why they were sending out
going to distribute things. The government is going to distribute things. Call it. Me don't walk in one district like in a year district and know what is what and know who is who.
John, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. I just want to test something. Lady V, you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, guys, did you hear that lady? You hear lady say something?
No.
Okay, great. All right, thank you very much, Lady V. Thanks.
Okay.
I just wanted to test something. All right, you can leave now. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Call it the church have a responsibility.
John, forget about the church. There's no church, John.
But there are no churches, John. There are
no church.
No, me not say the building. No. Me not say the building. No, the people them who in a district.
The same people them in a district and look somewhere put their head, John.
Yeah, but me don't come in a district and talk to somebody. Call it.
John, you can get you.
Hello.
Who me don't go to? Yeah.
Listen, this is why they were allowing Starlink into the country. They had helicopters going around with Starlink, and the Starlink came with solar panels so that people could communicate with their families. That is one. The usual thing that they would do to ask churches to help, they can't ask it, you would ask community leaders. I know when I wanted to get information, first of all, in my community, we had Three Angels pharmacy who wanted to come and help people in the community to get medical help because they heard on the radio that the community needed help. Not only did they hear that on the radio, but a helicopter came and took people who needed emergency help out of the area. That is one in a maroon section. And Three Angel Pharmacy and Company came in and gave free medical care and medication to people in the area because they heard that they needed help. So the Starlink helped people to get information out from some of the marooned area. For those areas that get backlight, what can happen is that they take those Starlink from those areas that have light now and give them to areas that don't have light, don't have electricity anymore. That's what they can do.
But listen to me 1 minute, all right? All right. For instance, those generators that the government get, right? They could at least put one or two of them in the shelter. So at least they have a Starlink so people could even able to communicate. I don't expect the government was to give those generators to people put that out of it. But they could have put them in shelters. You know what I'm saying?
But Colette, who in the
Starlink
shelter is going to
solar.
operate those? Who in the shelter gonna operate those generators? Who?
Those are heavy duty generators that need a lot
Who
of
don't operate them in a generator? You know, you have
they
to have
were
a
giving them to business.
Yeah, remember, it's not all of Jamaica were damaged, you know. Don't forget, you know.
Yeah.
It's copper part of Jamaica is really damaged. So you have people from Kingston, St. Mary, St. Catherine. You could get each one to put at a shelter to monitor the generator.
Each one of those people.
Good evening. So where did they put those generators, my dear?
In the storeroom.
That's not true.
That's not true.
No.
That is
They were
not true.
given to some business places.
They were given to police. They were given to a police station.
Police station.
They were loaned, not given. They were loaned. They're loaned. They're loaned to police stations. They're loaned to business places because what they're saying is that you can go.
Size
You can that's exactly, and you also can go to those small business places and get some food supply. You have to put back thing into normalcy because if you don't do that, you have people now who are more depressed than before.
Can I ask a question, please? Can I ask a question, please? You said they were given, I'm not talking about the police station. You said they were given to business place. For example?
They were not normal generators.
Oh, you mean you're asking me for example?
Somebody's house.
Yeah,
they were given to the local shops. Those some of the shops that are available in the communities, not the big stores. The local community store, them where you had the mama and the papa shops, them they were loaned those. People could go there and charge up their phone and do their shopping
and
communicate. Exactly. Yes.
That was 409 generators.
Yeah, a little bit over 400. Yes, and when
you're saying I live in I'm not in Jamaica now, but I have a community which is the Sandy Ground is a small community. All is there as a business place is the gas station. And every other business place don't have no tap on them. So
wherever it's necessary to give it, the government looks at it. This is the government, and wherever it's necessary, he see the focal point to loan it.
No, never there my side.
Maybe they didn't see where it's necessary to put it at your little communities, but they have other communities that they might have loaned it to.
My gas station would not have needed it because a gas station always have power.
And you also mentioned that the people are not communication that is not getting. I didn't hear the full story of it. Said it's not getting to. That is not true too. Right now down there, people have food upon food. They're getting it. Number one, and I talk about it on this program. I think the last time I talk about what is called the off-grid people. Off-grid people are people that have no registration in the system. They live there, but the government have no information at all to say where they're living, how they're doing this, how they're doing that. They live in
a birth certificate.
And not only that too. Before the storm came, the government told them that you need to put away your stuff. Them listen to L.A. Lewis, and Lewis tell them say no hurricane now come.
That's true.
No hurricane now come. So lots of them were flat-footed. Now, if you have a property, 1 second, if you have a property and you're paying taxes on the property, you can go to the tax office and get documents.
So Marcia, based on how I see the hurricane was flipping over these houses, nobody never expect the hurricane is gonna flip these houses like this. So a lot of people lose everything they have.
What do you mean nobody expect? They were warned. It is a category 5, which we have never had in the Caribbean. They were told. I hear an international man telling the people, and I was laughing at him. Say, man, this man not joke. The man tell the people and say, now is the time to vacate Jamaica.
Yes, of course.
guys, now is the time to vac. I mean, say, but this I'm gonna not understand.
Where they gonna
where we gonna
go
go?
themselves too? Where they were gonna go?
No. I'm just talking the severity. I'm just talking the severity of it.
The government have knowledge of the severity of it, and it was known to the Jan public.
Correct.
It was
They beg them.
But you know Sutherland, right? You know how Jamaicans are.
So
right?
we just suffer.
We can't blame them because they are
I
something.
know.
We don't blame the government.
Suffer
I'm
them.
not talking
That's what
about.
is
I'm not
happening.
talking about the government now, John. I'm not talking about the government. If Jamaican hear another time that there's gonna be a category 5, they're gonna do different stuff. Not talking about
right now. The government
they never see it like this.
Right.
No,
So-
the government
but
at one
Khaled,
point.
there is no excuse for that, though. You know? There is no excuse for that because you're saying we know all Jamaicans stay or they are, and I agree with you that we know how they are, but we need to get with the program. And,
they have to see it to believe it.
There was one
time. And now what happened is the consequences that they are facing.
Thank you.
They're facing the consequence of that mentality. Me have to see it before not now come.
Thank you.
Government send buses.
The government send buses,
bus,
exactly, and them send it back. And tell us they must come back later with the bus. It's too early if you got the shelter. Then tell the bus them to come back. I say no, we're not ready yet. What they must do? Wait until when them ready?
No, I'm not saying they are to wait until they're ready, but I'm just saying we're not justifying. I'm just saying they have to see it to believe it. That's all they are.
But it's a justification.
Well,
It is a justification.
Now them see it.
No, them see.
And they are
But the next time if they hear say to come, them are gonna do different things.
Me know say
no, we have to reason it now, Khaled, from their carelessness. That cannot be ignored enough. Because remember, you just said that we know all they stay. So now this is a consequence of it. So we have to hold them responsible for their carelessness as well. They contribute immensely to what they're facing. They contribute to their demise.
But you know, to be honest, just get up and just left your house and gone.
No, you have to do it. Then you're in the consequence.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
No, but isn't this harder? Isn't the consequence harder? You cannot make excuse for their carelessness.
No, you can't.
Did staying in their house save the house?
And this is what is happening right down there now. The people who didn't listen, most of them. I'm not saying that people who also listen. The people didn't listen to the government and to heed the warning are now the one who have absolutely
face
the consequences. And not only that too, some of those people, they didn't have anywhere at all in the first place. Some of them are just plywood house. Them have 4 pieces of plywood house and couple zinc. So the zone wasn't even ready based on what is happening down there. But I was talking to my younger brother and he said, they got back light. They said it's approximately 80 to 90% of them already got back light. And this is one thing people are complaining that the government shouldn't have loaned JPS the money. You should give it to the people. You can't give it to the people, but you to them. Because as soon as them get it, them spend it and it done. Spend it and it done.
Marcia, I want to ask you a question. I don't know if you have knowledge of this because it something not adding up here and it not making any sense to me. I got go back to the earlier part of the conversation. The ribbons were cut for these houses and given to people across the island that apply, according to what I hear, is that they apply for these houses because they have property. But the government own the houses, but they don't own the property. You know anything about that?
What houses are those?
The houses that
poor relief houses.
The poor relief houses.
Poor relief house, she said.
It's not the people's house. If a poor relief house, the house belongs to poor relief house, as a matter of fact, are for people who are on the street, who have no family at all. Those are poor release houses. The other set of houses that the government have is called the something there, the hope houses them, where if you have your land and depending on your situation, your MP can recommend, I think 10 people, I think it's 10 people per year for them to get a house, up to 10 people per constituency to get one of those social housing, right?
Right.
So let's say you have the land and you're in a dire situation. The government now come and assess it. Your MP recommend you, whether PNP or JLP, doesn't matter. They recommend you, the government come and assess it, and then they build, depending on the family size, they can build 1, 2, and 3 bedroom houses, right? Those houses are yours because immediately when you take possession, you get your title immediately. So those are house, those are your, that's your house. It's free, free. I feel the house.
Explain the poor relief now.
No, the poor relief house is where the government acquires the land. They acquire the land themselves, the land belongs to them, acquire for the government the land. And they build these houses because remember, those people have no family at all. I'm going to give you some outliers case after this, but 90% of them, they have no family. They live on the street and they sick and whatever. The government now will build these houses. You live in there until when your time come. You can't make no adjustment. You can't do nothing. The only thing you might be paying is the light bill and water. And I think those would be subsidized by the government too, if I'm not mistaken. You're living there until when your time come, when God said time to come home, brother or sister, you go to your resting place. The house is now go back to the government and they pass it to another person. Not, you can't pass it to your family because it's not yours. No, back in the days, right? What them used to do, they used to build some of the houses them on your land. And they still said they do some of them in exceptional cases. In exceptional cases, if you have the land, and this is done by the we call it parish council with Desmond McKenzie, local government with Desmond McKenzie. If you have the land, and that's why they turned up most of those land, it goes over to the prime minister, where it's called the social housing program. But in rare cases, the local government will bill on the land and give it to you. From once the land is yours, the house is yours also. If the land is yours, the house are for you.
So hold on. And I don't, and I want you, I'm ignorant to most of this stuff. I live in
that's
Chicago.
okay.
I live in Chicago for almost 30 years. So there is no case in Jamaica where the government owned the house, but not the land. So some family, because what I was hearing earlier is that the house is not owned by the government. The house is owned by the government, but not the land. So one of the scenario that I pulled was that if my father get the government to build them the house, and I am the son, right? The father live at the house, the father gone, my land, but government own the house, so the government can't bring anybody can live in the house.
They have some mischievous PNP. They have some mischievous
Gone to politics now. Gone to politics now.
No party.
Can I speak, ma'am?
No
politics.
No politics.
Well, you don't if you don't like it, that's okay.
Nothing can go what you're saying.
What
What
you're
you're saying is not true.
Oh, Lord,
what you are saying is not true.
Hear what you say.
You have some mischievous PNP that is going around and telling the people them that if the land are for you and the government build the house on it, when you're dead and gone, the government now give your family the house. That is not true. That is not true. That is not true. There is absolutely no truth. And that's why I say you have rare cases where the parish council will build those houses for you on your land. They used to before, until when it turned over to Desmond McKenzie through the local government. They now acquire the land, they build the house, You're living there until when you pass away, it goes to somebody else, not your family. If there is a case where they build the house on your land, it is your house because you have title to the house. So any one of your family that you will the house to or you do whatever, the government cannot assign the house to somebody else. It is not true. It is absolutely not
can
true.
You go back? Can you go back to something you said that something was used to before? What was before?
So before that, it used to call they used to call it what they used to call it poor relief.
Yeah, poor relief.
Yes,
poor relief.
That's what Colette was talking about. Poor relief.
Right.
They used to call I'm gonna look for the video and send you tomorrow. Okay.
Right.
Anybody can make video, my dear. Me can make a video too, you know.
I hear Desmond Mackenzie
to get the verified. To get the
I hear
verified video.
Desmond Mackenzie declare what he was saying, and I know I'm hearing correctly. And I don't really do politics, you know what I'm saying? I just speak general when I'm speaking, you know? I hear what I hear. And I'm not hearing wrong.
So I know we all hear what you want to hear.
To be like that.
It never used to call. There you go. It wasn't called poor relief. It used to call indigent housing. That is the word I was looking for. Managed through poor relief. It used to call indigent housing. And this is where it says that, let me see if it gives you the right. If you want to find that something there, ma'am, you can go to...
Somebody in the chat say indigent houses belong to the government. So
no, that's what I'm saying.
Used to happen. You're saying used to happen.
No. Right. But there are cases. Happening? Hold on. That's what I'm saying. There are cases, rare cases still, where they will build on your land and give it to you.
Because
hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Which make more sense.
Make more sense. That's what I was gonna say.
Hold on. Think of it, people. You have title to your house, right? How much the government come build house on your land and take it and give somebody else?
The house.
They don't come build it. You give them permission. Remember, you're gonna get you applying for the houses now. It's not the government come and build the house on your land just come out of blues. You apply, you give them your documents to say you get permission or it's your land, and they build the house. They're not just gonna come and build a house.
It doesn't matter whether you apply for it. Just think of it, my lady.
What I am saying though, and I hear you, Marcia. Somebody is actually typing to what you're saying make more sense, because it did not make no sense to me, and I can't say whether or not it's true or lie. I'm not speaking from that. What I'm saying, it absolutely makes no sense for the government to own just the house and can bring anybody to come live on my fatherland, and I have access to the land. Me have access of the land.
Pay your taxes,
but not the house.
But not the house. No, that is a recipe for war and disaster.
Thank you.
Because so the government himself wouldn't have set me up for war with one person just in case my father passing. Because me I go guard the land. Well, me no want him over here in a Waymouth Drive go or walk by house.
The other disaster too, is that once the land is developed or have any building on it, the price of your tax go up. So it would not be fair to you either.
But you do, if this property is yours, you can't get the use of a property because somebody else live on it. What if you want to build a house on it then? Who pay the taxes? If you live on my land, the government assign you to live on my land. Who pay your taxes on it then?
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't
make sense.
I try to dissect it for it to make sense, and it just cannot make no sense.
I'm trying to open. Oh, here it is. Over last
point when you finish, Marcia.
Over the last 32 houses has been built by the government. Plan to construct 12 more. I was looking for the part where she is talking about. There was some confusion where the government, when Desmond Mackenzie was explaining it, he was making reference to back then. But because it rolls into the current sentence, the current sentence, everybody was interpreted to say, oh, what he's saying that if the land is yours, they build the house. Just like what she's saying. If the land is yours, they build the house, then the house and no fear, you can't give your family it. If it's somebody else, they can assign somebody. That's not what he was saying. It was a misinterpretation of what he was saying by most people. And this is why I mention it, because it was not the JLP supporters that were saying it. It was the PNP supporters who used it as a political milestone against the government. That's all I was saying.
But if it could be misunderstood, both sides could have misunderstood
it.
But he came out.
Okay. Because everybody one house is not one side, one house.
But he came
Both
out and
side
he talked
wanted
about it.
house.
The minister, the government come out himself and him explain it too. And they refuse to set that part of it. And that's why I said it's mischief.
Sometimes people hear one part of the news, but they don't hear the other. So
Conveniently.
No, I would not say conveniently. Say Mr. Mackenzie make a statement today, and because he found a mistake in his statement, tomorrow he goes and said, not everybody who hear it today hear it tomorrow. And so who hear it today, gone with the news, but they not hear what happened tomorrow when he adjusts it. And that is how trouble starts.
Here it is. The main responsibility for payment of utilities and home repairs lies with the homeowners. The main responsibility. They also said they're going to put water tank. I was looking for the other one, a water tank on top of it. This was in 2020. They start giving them water tank there. Let me look for another bigger article. And by the way, I'm looking at JIS. That's where I go. This is the government website. I don't go on website that people like myself can create these videos and put them out there and say willy-nilly stuff. I go to the government website. Indigent, okay, this is Facebook. It's not going to give me a lot. So yeah, so if the government, just think of it, if the land is yours, right now, what the government did was to take away that part of it where they build the houses on your land. And this is what is called the social housing program, right? So the prime minister handles that part of it. The indigent part of it now, and like I said, very rare cases, the indigent part of it is where Desmond Mackenzie, no, they acquire the land. The government acquires the land. They do something there. They build the houses. And like I said, for indigent people or people who don't have nobody will live on street, they don't have enough, their family don't want them. So how now, all of a sudden, the government build a house and give them? You never used to take care of your family, and now you want to come benefit the house though.
That's wrong. Thank Marcia. Marcia, I want to ask something. What do you know of any program that the government is putting in place now to deal with the people them is in Westmoreland, especially the people them who live in the shelter and who don't have any land, who did not own the land now?
So yes, there are some stuff that the government has talked about. So if they have lived on the land for 12 years, I think he said 12 years, and you have been paying the taxes for it, right? They're coming, not you, they're coming to give you title to the land. They have handed out 700 titles already in St. Elizabeth. For the people them who were illegally living on those land, it's gonna be a different story for them, because again, most of those illegal settlements were plywood housing, right? The government is getting 5,000 container housing, and they're gonna distribute them. I don't know how they're gonna distribute them, but they're gonna distribute them to people, and I don't know the selection and how they're gonna do it. I made a point to say that, and this is me just thinking about it. As a matter of fact, and also the people them at Petersfield High School and all the high school.
Yes.
Let me ask you this, guys. I don't know. I have nationwide news talking about the house.
Go ahead.
Project. If you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know why it's not coming up. No.
Hearing
clip views.
under the program was not going to be in the name of the beneficiary. And I said, nothing can go so. Well, it has erupted into a political squabble now, based on a lie, because people know that these things are not so, but it doesn't suit their political narrative, and they circulate it. This is an example of the role that social media is playing in communicating and delivering messages and being exploited. So the Minister of Local Government, Desmond McKenzie, has responded, saying that this is simply not true, and making the distinction between indigent housing is not the same thing as housing under the new social housing program. Yeah. Here is Desmond McKenzie addressing the issue yesterday at the JLP's Area Council 1 meeting at Holy Family Primary School in Central Kingston.
I said I put out nothing about me, about the indigent housing program. I find it's a social housing program. Once it is built on government property, it's something government. It is the responsibility of the government to look about it. Those persons who find their own property and coming and is legitimate, we never tell nobody that we will take it from them. What they're trying to do is to create scandal and leadership.
Okay.
Desmond McKenzie.
Yeah, so that, to me, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and it's the same thing as I was saying.
That makes a lot more sense than what
but
was.
Marcia, I want you to go back to what you were saying about the Petersfield and those things in Westmoreland.
The Petersfield, yes, they are, and I totally agree with the government to remove them out of the school, to get them out. They have to move out. They have to move out of the school. They have to, because that's the only way you can bring back normalcy to a community. That's the only way the kids them will start to heal from this trauma. You have to. I don't know what the government gonna do as yet, but they're given until they have to be out there by January, because the school need to be back in place. Because the longer you have this thing, people sit down and don't want to get somewhere to live, right? They don't want to get somewhere to live. That is their choice, but they have to get out because the kids have to go back to school. We're going to have a whole 600 children without education because you decided you don't want to work or to go help yourself. Come on, be real. I don't care what anybody says. They're poor people, but why can't you get a work? There is so much work down there right now. So much work. So the government is bringing the container house. I think they're supposed to bring in some by December, and the rest in January. That's what I heard. And they're gonna be handed those out. I don't know how they're gonna hand them out or whatever. I was saying to myself what the government needs to do, and this is just me because I can't tell the government how to run their business because we elect them for that. Whether we like how they run it or not, I said to myself that one idea would be that the government use some of their land, put some of these container houses on it for the families, especially for mothers with mothers with young children. I'm not talking single people here. I'm talking with young children. They can put them in those houses, and even father to mother and father and picnic. But for all of those kind of family, whether full or half, put them in those houses. Get them training, because some of them, they are not trained. They don't have the mothers or the father. They don't have any skill. Get them training. Get them sign up into the hard program, whether a carpentry, hairdresser, mason, dressmaking, any kind of skill, welding or whatever. While the kids are in school, you get them training, put them in there, and let them start paying towards their bills. Because you can't live free in a society. No. If after when you get on your foot now and you say, boy, I want one, and you pay into the regulatory stuff them like the NHT and NIS, they wouldn't be paying taxes because they wouldn't be making enough money. So they'll pay into NHT and NIS. If you now pay into it for 1 year straight, you're working and they're taking a deduction out of it. You don't need in your case, if you're earning, I think it's $30,000 a week, you don't need a down payment for NHT. You can apply to NHT for a wall house. So if you get that house, you move out of that house and you leave. So when you move out at the container house and move into your wall house, another family now would move into there. Just like over here with the government housing. As soon as you move out on your own, it goes to another family.
So how stable these container houses are?
Very. Extremely. You would never believe it. You would never believe it. What they do, they make a foundation, a foundation with cement, and they anchor it down. They anchor it down. But when you see, and they box them up, just like over here, you box up the house and put in the thing. You don't see the partition. They box them. When you see it inside of them, man, it's amazing. Just type in container housing.
These houses are capable of withstanding
definitely much stronger. Oh, definitely much stronger. It will be much stronger because remember, they're anchored down with these bolts, with these huge bolts that they anchor down on the ground. So yes, definitely they said they're much better. Not that they won't, but they said they're much better to prepare for a hurricane than a plywood, 4-piece of plywood.
Right. I know it. I was comparing because I was asking earlier, how would they anchor these houses?
Yeah, so they make a concrete foundation and put it and drop them on it.
Okay.
And then they anchor them down.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, doing now. Is that people think that the government should go in and build house already. And I'm saying that there are building codes that has to be made.
Correct.
Blueprint that has to draw. Everything has to assess. One person was saying that a lady went in and built 8 houses and the government don't build none yet. To me, that's you cannot make comparison
Correct.
like those.
Exactly.
And if you don't mind shop, this lady that build these houses may not be up to the code because the new code probably haven't even released yet.
But not only that, there's a problem, especially in Westmoreland, because that's where I think most of the land issue is. Most of those people were living on lands that were not theirs. So how is it the government not gonna build back house and land when for them? How can the government do that?
And those are the things that people are not thinking about. We had somebody on the program earlier that was saying that people are overwhelmed and just talking because of they're overwhelmed. But the things that they're saying, I don't think they're processing the things that they're saying. A lot of people are talking from emotions.
Correct. And what they fail to understand, the government, as you rightly said, has a blueprint of how they handle these things, hurricane and everything. If you notice, they first go into emergency first, then they go into recovery, then they go into building. There's a step. You know, as a regular person, can go down there and do this and do that immediately. But there is it's a process that they have to follow, where they do this, they do this, they do this, they do this. First, as soon as it calm down, they make sure they send out the army.
Let me just adjust somebody, because somebody is saying that Marcia, you don't understand the full structure. You said where said that? Wonder if you realize I wonder if you really care about the victims. Why waste money on container houses when builders are available to make permanent structures?
Well, let me say this to people. Let me say this immediately to people. It's not the government responsibility to build a house and give you. Let me just put that out there. Whether you want to believe it or not, it is not a government. They help you. They can help you, but it's not the government responsibility
to provide houses.
To find houses, just like in any other country. You insure your house
with no empathy, though.
I know.
You have no empathy.
I know. Sounding, my dear, you have to tell people the truth.
Yeah, you don't sound with no empathy.
I know, but this is why
you don't have a clue what is happening to those people.
What is happening to them? But this is why we have so much dependency on the government. This is why we have so much people don't want to work. Now, some of those land are leased, right? Some of those land are leased. The government, let's say that in Westmoreland, most of those land are leased, whether by private or by the government, right? If the land is a leased land, the government cannot put up a wall house on it. They cannot. So the quickest thing to do for those people who put a container from once you can provide, the owner can renew the lease or provide your lease agreement. The government can say, okay, we'll put up a container house instead of a board house. They're different scenarios. You cannot put up a permanent structure on somebody's property when they lease it to you.
We all know that. We are not that dumb. We all know that.
Yeah, but that's what Marcia is saying, and that's what the person is saying down there.
My dear, emotion not gonna get us anywhere where we say I have no empathy.
No, we can't build concrete. We all know that Westmoreland lands are mainly lease and rent. So
using emotion to try to tell.
No, but how your son with no empathy, Marcia.
To try to garner.
You just get them out of the school. You're gonna put them under the tree. You have to get them out, of course, but you have to create somewhere for them to go.
Let me tell you this.
Even if it's a tent, you have to put them somewhere, Marcia.
But you have to get them out. That's what I'm saying.
I know you have to get them out.
So
I know.
What is the difference?
They can't be in the school forever, no.
You know, like I said, my dear, you saying I have no sympathy.
You sound like you don't have no empathy. I hear it. I hear how you sound. You have no empathy for these people.
But I could say you have empathy and you do nothing for them. What is the purpose of you having empathy when you're not helping them? What is that?
You have no empathy, man.
But what is the purpose of
we know they cannot stay there. Nobody personal business who do or who don't do. So we don't want to get there.
I saw that, and I actually said it earlier in this program. I honestly don't believe that it's a government responsibility to provide houses. I understand that they can assist.
Correct.
They can assist. But I said it earlier. I cannot see where the government is responsible to provide houses. I can understand all that they're doing in assisting people to get close as possible to a normal life, but I cannot see. I cannot see where and I'm not saying I'm not taking any firm position. If somebody educate me otherwise, I'm open to it. But I just cannot fathom how the government is responsible. Check out here in America is a first world country. If I don't have insurance on my house, if a disaster coming up, maybe basically done.
But not only that, look at those street people in America in the winter. It's now -15 some places in North America. They have a blizzard coming to New York. You know how many people are on the street sleeping and living on the street?
They don't want to go in the shelters.
How many of them, my dear, when the shelter is full, where they gonna go? When the shelter
want to
is
go in the
full,
shelters.
Where they gonna go? Why don't the government then build housing for people to them?
That's a question I was gonna ask.
Why don't the government
if the government responsibility?
A lot of these people don't want to go in the shelter.
Okay, and that's what I'm. But if you listen to what you're saying, Khaled, is that the government responsibility is to provide shelter, not housing. That's what you're basically saying, Because if the government responsibility was to build houses, and we are comparing with America, why are they putting those people in shelters and not houses? It's what I'm saying. So the government.
I didn't expect the government to build free house, give nobody. I'm not expecting free houses. Okay. We're not talking about free houses, but you can't just have them outside. That's what I'm saying.
I think they should have shelters for these people.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
And that's what they're preparing. That's what they're preparing. They have lots of tents up down there too. Lots and lots of tents that they have put up, temporary tents down there for them. Those are already in place. Some of them, people them that refusing to come out of the school, they said they're not leaving. Even if the government is offering them tent, they said they don't want to get out. They're not leaving.
Well, I don't think they can be in the school because school have to start. It can be it can be a permanent shelter. The school cannot be a permanent shelter.
Yeah, they have to. I don't know. All I can tell you from things that has been happening before, where people were just squatting and not have proper documentation for where they're living, and people are just catching here and putting this there. It's gonna be a disaster to iron this thing out. It's gonna take a lot, and I can tell you, it's not going to take sympathy to do it.
But Marcia is a political analyst, though. That's what she comes. She just come to preach politics, and I'm not in the politics thing. That's her main focus. She don't care nothing about the people if they're inside or outside.
Marcia. Hello.
No, I'm here, my dear.
Marcia, before this hurricane, Black River, before this hurricane, the government say he want to build a smart city around, build a new city around Black River from Gwaan.
Did he specify where?
And a new city in St. Elizabeth. He's gonna build a city.
He's gonna build an intentional city. I did not hear, and I don't know if anybody hear about the smart city. What I hear is him said, and I did not even hear sentence bet, because he said if he talk away, the people are going to buy up the land and make it more expensive for them to put the intentional city. So he did not he specifically say, me not talk away. Me not go talk away, me I go do it. Because me no want nobody run, go buy up the land them.
Yeah,
so but we are going to put up an intentional city. That was the word. I don't know if it is different from smart city.
Let me just say, let's just put what is a smart city. What is a smart city? Because again, the narrative that is spinning out there is to scare people. It is to scare people. It is scare tactics that they're doing. What is a smart city? A smart city is where everything runs efficiently. You have the bus service. If you have a bus come at 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock, 10:15, and so forth. You have digital where you have cameras all over the city to monitor the crime, to monitor this. You have parking where you just put in your ticket, you buy your park, you can pay for your parking spot right there.
Can't say as just a modern city.
Correct. Exactly.
A modern city.
Exactly.
What is so bad about a modern city?
I hear people talking about he's gonna have robot down there, he's gonna have an Android. I'm thinking like, oh my God in heaven.
And this is what I am saying. Everybody afraid that the smart city come to, let me work with them. Everybody afraid that the smart city that is coming to Jamaica. But then Jamaicans, we're afraid that I'll come a foreign come live and them go Dubai go live and them with all that they're gonna bring there. Is this the thing that will migrate go expose themselves to?
But guess what? Now them have a smartphone in their hand 24/7, iPhone 17 and the new Galaxy. A smartphone that?
I cannot understand. And that's why I'm earlier saying people are talking and not thinking.
Because you have educated people. You have people who knows better are using the emotion to tell people it is bad for you. It is bad for you. All that a smart city is everything run. If you can wait on the bus, when the bus supposed to come, you can say, oh, the bus will come at 10:15. You can have something, scan it in your phone. You see what time the bus is coming. If the bus is running late, what time is this going? What time is that coming? That's all it is. Crime, where you're gonna need the camera. So anywhere you have camera all over the place, we can pick up where the government can pick up, or the police or whoever can pick up and says, oh, that was the person. If there's a getaway car, they can trace it with a drone.
Let me just give you an opportunity to answer a question here that is asked. Val Richards is saying, I think Marcia speaks facts. There's a Michael Garden that is saying, where is the money to build a smart city? I don't know what the relevance of that, but you want to respond to that?
The government already was before the hurricane. They were already talking about it. Remember, this government is very good at managing the budget in the country. Even during the hurricane, they have increased the NIR, the National Reserve. Yes. I call it the bank account. It has increased. So they're already looking funding and already have funding in mind how they're going to do it, right? Another thing that people, so they haven't said much about how they're gonna, where the money gonna come from. They haven't said much. Right now, they are doing the highways, them where they're selling Jamaica. Now, by the way, guys, for people who live in Jamaica, even overseas, if you hear the government says they're selling shares or are gonna be selling shares into these highways and byways and whatever, go for it. They want you to invest in your country.
Yeah, I'm going down by JMB because they have one the other day.
Yes, this is how you invest in your country. Those are safe investment. If they're government investment, they're safe investment. Now, make nobody come on TikTok and tell us to go buy stock in a Timbuktu and what it can fill up. Uno go park uno money there, and all of a sudden that Usain Bolt uno lose uno money. When the government says these are good investment in your country, this is what Andrew is doing, is to allow people, the Jamaican people, because they do it all the time, but it's just that the poor people, them don't get the chance. And he's opening up all of these highways. Yes, I know, man.
A guy, Michael Garden, he's saying, Jamaica need good road, bridge, hospital, before build a smart city.
But that's what he's doing. But that's what he's doing. The Cornwall Regional Hospital is going to be the biggest and largest in the Caribbean, where they're going to have tourists coming in from all over the Caribbean. And chances are they might have medical tourism using that, because I think they're planning, I'm not sure, I think they're planning to have a private wing up there where you have medical tourists who comes to the island and want to use it. Or because you know that even if you have a private hospital, most of the time they don't want to operation there, so they use the hospital. So chances are they might have a section of it. They are also extending the Spanish Town Hospital by how many thousand and thousand of square. The Bustamante children, right? The Bustamante Children Hospital is being refurbished. Also, clinics are now they're upgrading them from type 4 to type 5, most of them. Right? Let me see if I have it here.
And as it relates to road, there is major expansion happening in the space for like the
Spark program.
So
the Spark program is where they're building out the network of the country, and because of the hurricane, it was stalled by Hurricane Beryl. Then we have a long rainfall after Hurricane Beryl. Now we have Melissa, but they're still continuing to fix the road network. As a matter of fact, what he came out and says a couple of weeks ago was that he want to build the road throughout the island, so you can just take one road and just drive right around the island. He's planning to do that. So you talk about 6 hospitals that's going to be building. There is a new 6-story facility with over 17,000 square meters at Spanish Town Hospital. The renovation of St. Anne's Bay, Maypen, UWI, Conrad Regional. The Santa Cruz Healthcare Center is now a smart facility. We have clinics that are now open until 10 o'clock. We have Farm Heights, Norwood, Maroontown, New Hampton, Adelphi in St. James. All those are new clinics. So what they're trying to do is, because you know that we have a backlog of in the emergency section at the hospitals. They're trying to open the clinics them later at nights. So if it's just a little cut or a little this or a little that, you can go to the clinic instead of going to the hospital. All right.
You can go and get your diabetic.
Dialysis, exactly. All those things. The children's hospital are also being looked after. They are also putting MRI. They got 6 new MRI and 10 CT scan machine at the UWI hospital. The Bustamante Children's Hospital gets 6 new X-ray. They get a total of 6 X-ray, 3 for Kingston KPH, 1 for Spanish Town, 1 for Bustamante, and 1 for Chess. So yes, they are really working on the hospital. My dear guys, the Cornwall Regional Hospital hasn't worked on for over 18. As a matter of fact, it was open. It was open in 1974, and now we're in 2025. It has never ever been worked on. So it's a massive renovation going on, massive. And the hurricane did this damage a section of it again. So the date to open it now push back.
It was supposed to open in 2027, right?
No, 2026. Next year.
Okay.
The early part of next year.
Wow.
Yes, it was supposed to open the early part of next year.
Because I hear that the front desk answer is...
The front desk is open. They are building...
The administration, I think the administration segment of it is open.
Yes,
and a lot of people are making an excitement over that. And that realizing that the administration part of any a structured medical facility is about 35 to 40%.
Yes. Yes, and they have they're building a children's hospital up there.
Yes,
they're also building quarters, accommodation for the nurses and the doctors and the medical practitioners also on that same ground. So it's a large investment going up there. So yes, my dear, they're working on it. But they also have to work on the roads too, because you need the better roads for investment to come in.
But Marcia,
tourists, 1 second. Tourists now want to sit down on bus for 2.5 or 3 hours to go to them property. As soon as them land, them want to get there as quick as possible. So they have to. For you to have better investment coming into the country, your infrastructure, which is your road, your light, and your water, must be on par.
Yes. And for the tourists also to get out to support the communities, you need good roads, because one of the biggest talk in Jamaica,
and crime.
When the all-inclusive hotel is not supporting the communities, them.
Crime. You need good roads to support crime, because if the vehicle them have to go drop down in the pothole them and the gully them and the manhole them, when they're gonna catch the people them? So you need all of those things. So they're working on it. It not just happen overnight, because I never overnight where we reach at Jamaica right now. It was decades upon decades and decades of mismanagement.
So let me ask you this: all the improvement, because I must tell you, Marcia, my program is intent to highlight the positive of Jamaica.
That's okay.
There is too many people that just pushing. I'm not even gonna call it false narrative. I'm just too much people highlighting the negative part of Jamaica, whether they're playing politics or not. They just enjoy talking about Jamaica in a negative way.
And it's not only politics. It's not only politics they're playing. They're playing taps and likes and get the crowd, because the more taps and likes and roses you get. Jamaica, we love, not Jamaican. We love the pasa and the shouting and the excitement and the this and that. If you can have a program where you can have that, if you notice, you have 22 people listening, and you go over Rosalie and see how much people over there. Okay. Thank you.
I know. I have 22 listening, but me depend on Facebook too. We have a few people.
Oh, you are. Oh my God, you didn't tell me that. Lord of His mercy.
Yeah, man, them boss. Then you may read to you.
I was wondering where it's coming from. So are they listening to me?
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Oh Lord of His mercy.
I try to get the positive word out as far as possible.
No, that's okay.
And that's what I wanted to do. So I want to broadcast on many platforms as possible.
And just let me put this out there. I am not part of the government team. I don't live in Jamaica. I am a proud Jamaican. I love my country. I support my country. I have my house in Jamaica also. I just want people to know that no government is paying me, but I like what I'm seeing. And just like you, I am passionate about my country. I want my country to do good. And I'm not saying Andrew is perfect, because he made some decision that I don't agree with them. But again, he's the prime minister. He's not a perfect person, and nobody's perfect. But what I see so far with this government, I think he's doing damn well.
Wow.
For me, that's true.
So just let me put that out there for people, wondering to say, oh, she's a JP, whatever. I do support this government.
Let me just tell you a little bit about myself, Marcia. I am also actively involved in Jamaica. I have my house there in Jamaica. I have been this year alone. I went to Jamaica 13 times. Last year was 12.
Wow.
I'm always in Jamaica. I run one of the biggest, along with Valerie Chat, one of the biggest. Hold on, can you mute, brother? Hello.
Here's another section. After this year now.
Yeah. I run one of the biggest backpack and school supply give back in
that's
Jamaica.
nice.
Yeah, man, we do right across the island, the Jamaican Youth Assistance
And by the way,
Program.
guys, my place was destroyed too. My place was destroyed by the hurricane.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I do that. We give to all 14 parishes annually backpack and school supplies to the most needy. That's what the Jamaican Youth Assistance Program do. So I'm not just one of them persons that sit here and I run up my mouth. I am searching for positive words coming out of Jamaica, because my program and all my team members are working to create to bring forth positiveness. So that's what I want to pursue. Anything
where I live over here, we had a fundraising for the hurricane relief, and it was really a good success. A couple of years ago, we also just before Hurricane Beryl and whatever, we organized where we got some beds. Beds, and we send them to Jamaica, beds and wheelchairs and so forth. Lots of medical supplies. So we do lots of stuff through the organization.
Okay, great. I also do that right now. I have we had sent tons of barrels to Jamaica. Last week, was it week before last? We sent a portion of barrel to Jamaica. We had sent some before, and I have what I have right now can still fill a container, because I have 3 warehouse with stuff to go to Jamaica. It's just that we don't have the financial support to get it out. That's where I have a problem. But we are doing our thing, so we not just get up here and run up our mouth.
But if it's a charity, you can contact the ministry. I can't remember which one of them, and they can help you. If it's going to a particular organization.
I want you to inbox me that information, because I am just here doing a thing with my team. We are very limited in terms of knowledge. I wouldn't say very limited, because there are people that are from the organization that is been involved with other organization before, a successful organization. But the truth is, I just have the ambition, and we've been doing it for a couple of years now. But I don't have all the details and the information as to how I could get some.
I could look into it for you.
Whatever there is that you can do to support, whatever receipt and proof that you need to show our legitimacy, there is unlimited evidence of what we do.
I'll find out from my other bloggers.
Yeah, man. So just get as much information from me as possible, because I have tons of stuff to go to Jamaica.
Okay.
And I really like the things that you're pushing. I think you could do it without saying I'm a paying laborer like you did there.
No, because some people, some people might be saying, she's a PJLP and she's a this and she's a that. And I just want them to know that, just in case they're wondering where I'm coming from, because I grew up in the PNP, and I didn't achieve anything out of them. I did not achieve. So I just want, people might say she's political. I'm not political. I look at what the government is doing, and like I said, some of these things I might not agree with them, but most of what I see that is happening, I like it. I like it.
Right. My intention is to start a program coming this Wednesday, consistently every Wednesday and Friday, 10 to 1 a.m. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. But it is the intention of the program is to speak nothing but good and to support, because the thing is, right now I'm a part of a group of people where we're trying to bring some offshore jobs to the people of Jamaica. So I'm making connection in that area. So in order for me to do the things and to bring positiveness to Jamaica, it may have to entertain everything that is positive about it. A lot of people are talking about the work ethic in the Jamaican people are that way. I know that's a problem too, but I don't want to entertain much negative thing around here, because the same amount of negative that one could talk about, there is equal amount of positive, and I choose to stay on the positive side. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I want to do. So with that being said, I must thank you for your positive contribution. And what I would advise you to do is to continue to talk about the greatness and the goodness that is happening in the space.
Yes.
And I must say, we need more of you. People would have said, well, Master political, and from that they can't see beyond that about Master. What I see Master is doing. Because I tell you, Master, you know how many people and social media in general that is just talking nothing but bad about Jamaica. You're afraid to go down there. So if people are talking so much bad about Jamaica, what is the crime in talking something good about Jamaica?
Exactly. And not only that, when I talk, you can always go and research it. I don't come here to tell anybody any lies. I don't have no agenda to tell anybody any lies. You can come here, whatever I say to you, you can go research it. It is there, it's facts. I don't have to lie about anything. No, I don't.
You were talking. I'm there. I check my computer just to see him. I'll do that. So so I know that what you're saying is facts. But the people, a lot of people don't want to hear the positive.
I will. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And they don't want to hear it, and they politicize everything. So because you're seeing things from through your political lens, then it puts you in an extreme frame of mind that nothing. If you support the other party, you can't say nothing good. But anyways, Dayton Campbell, I'd make an exception and start talking. I hear Dayton Campbell. I hear Dayton Campbell, which is all that he said did not matter to me. What matters to me most of all is when I hear Dayton Campbell say the most honorable.
Listen to me.
I think there's a message there. Before we go, because we wrap up in the next 7 minutes. What do you take from that? The most honorable.
The message is Dayton Campbell is sharpening his tool for the next election.
Yes, I suspect that.
No. When you said Dayton Campbell a sharpening tool for the next election, sharpen. No, sharpen yourself.
Yes.
Sharpening tool for the next election. No, it cannot be sharpening his tool for the next election and talking about the most honorable.
No, because Dayton Campbell come across as this. I don't want to use the word crass, but if you know how him talk, like when he go say to Paula, guy your yard. You know them kind of business there. So people are used to him having that rough edge,
yes.
right? rough edge. So when you're gonna, and he realized, is the one thing you have to give it to him, and I really admire him. He's a very, very smart guy.
Yes,
He realized that's how he's coming across to the people.
Sutherland, have a great night.
Yeah, man.
You too, my dear. You too,
John.
John,
everybody, have a great night.
Yeah, man. One love, Colette.
Marcia come to advertise about the government, and I'm not up to the government business. So I'll see you tomorrow, honey bunny.
My dear. Good night, my dear Colette. Have a wonderful night. I love you, my honey.
All right, Colette. Yeah.
I said on the live with the JLP bloggers, I said, you know, I honor you guys so much, but it's on it. I call it now, become honor. But that's okay. What is happening with Dayton? Dayton have a negative, just like Peter Phillips. Remember Peter Phillips?
Yeah, man.
Was never loved by the people of Jamaica. And that's why Peter was never able. And I really like Peter. Peter was never able to get the support of the people. Dayton Campbell is coming across as that. They're gonna have.
What the hell? I want the person now going. Anyway, keep going.
They're gonna have a blood test in the next election because you have so many of them who want to enter politics to run for it. Dayton Campbell is one of them. Mark Golden has lost twice to Andrew. He lost in the the general election, and he lost in the parish council election. What?
That means that you would have think that that's the end of Mark Golden, right? And with age too.
But not only that too, donors are the one who supports them. You have a man that lost twice to the same person. They're going to be very, very skeptic about how they invest their money. The next parish council election, if he makes it that far, will tell the do or die for Mark Golden. Because if he lost that parish council election coming up 2027, he cannot go into the general election. He will not, because he's totally damaged. So you have people like Dayton Campbell, you have people like Damian Crawford. You have this other guy there, another young guy there. I hear that they're pushing Nikisha Burchell. You know?
No, man. Oh God.
And, hold on, they're pushing Nikisha Burchell. Who would want to get that position would be Peter Bunting. But Peter Bunting and
not only that, Peter Bunting is damaged. Also.
Exactly. So you have lots more in there that are interested in going for the leadership of the party, and you're gonna have a blood. I think you're gonna have.
But even though I'm not a political person, but I would say the truth though that it has been a while that the PNP has been dysfunctional for the same reason.
Yes.
There are too many people. And I don't know. I thought, correct me here if I'm wrong. Since Portia Simpson, everybody feel qualified to become party leader. I don't know if that makes sense. Since Portia, everybody in that party feel like they're qualified. And so it's a hard comparative race.
Are you saying that the standard has dropped?
Marcia, why you just keep the thing going, man? Why would you do that?
Marcia, the standard is more than dropped.
No,
I did not say that.
No, but they can be good.
Me and you, Marcia, is saying that we're not.
Okay, I did not say that.
We are saying that the standard is
and actually, actually, to be honest with you, I go back to blame. PJ Patterson for what happened.
Yes.
PJ was supposed to give the seat or the country to Peter Phillips. He put the party ahead of the country. He put the party ahead of the country because when he gave it to Portia, he said Peter is not going to win because the people them love Portia more than Peter.
Yes.
Right? And they were looking to win, not about what is good for the country. Because behind everything, and this is what lots of people don't know, it was Peter Phillips who was running the country. You know who was helping Peter Phillips? Make a wild guess.
I can't figure that out.
Edward Siaga was right. Thank you. Edward Siaga was exactly. Lots of people don't know that was the one who was crafting those financial policies for Peter Phillips. Want to go and go read more?
Yes, because Peter Phillips is not in finance now.
Yes.
He don't have no knowledge at all in finance.
First, you're hearing this, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
But read about it more. Wow. The same. He was close to Edward in the end. Lots of people didn't know that when Portia was there, it was Peter who was running it, and Edward was helping him.
Wow.
In terms of the financial, the finance. Yes.
Wow.
But to me, Peter was.
Go read more about it, and you'll find
Peter
out.
was damaged in the politics.
Oh yes, Peter was damaged.
Yeah, Peter was damaged. That's why I guess PJ didn't give him.
No, but remember, he did he gave Portia 2 years, right? Come on, he could have tried to recover from the damage. You understand? Okay. Because he got Portia got 2 years out of it, and Portia went and called the election. Portia went and called it because she never have to call it. She could have waited out the term.
Yes.
You could have waited out the term.
But remember, why Portia didn't wait out the term now? Because the country was actually a PNP country.
She was
so confident. Yeah, she called it out of confidence.
Come up, now, Rusty. Make Rusty tell you more. Rusty, come up and come tell Doctor. Come, Rusty. One general. He tell you more about it.
You mean, Mr. It might come up as Selassie. Yeah, I reach out for him and I see him make no move. One general, I have 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes with you. I was supposed to done at 12 o'clock, but I'm gonna run it over for the next 12 minutes. Give us your insight on what we have been talking about here.
Like we do this next day. Promise you I'll give some more information and see all a while, I'll share all a while. But
okay.
Kind of inconvenient to talk right now.
Okay, all right. Well,
all right.
We'll
give him the time.
We'll talk on Wednesday night at 10.
Still, so you have a reason for this again.
Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. We'll be here until 10 to 1 Wednesday night.
All right, cool.
All right, blessings, and thank you for stopping by, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right. Master, you see you?
Watch all a while.
Yeah, man. All right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. We're trying to make a positive difference. And we want to push a more, a better image of Jamaica. There are too much of us that is out there tearing down Jamaica.
What a lot of people did that. Say I get a lot of bad name, but he was actually the best person and the most what would I put this now? He was Jamaican more than most Jamaican.
Yes, Rusty.
And he really loved Portia. People never know that. He loved Portia. She was his friend.
Yeah.
So he never wanted her to fail because he knew personally that Jamaica would have failed if she did. So he helped her. But you see, one of the thing with Jamaicans and our politicians is we play politics more than we play what would I say? Find a word, we demonize our politician, even in their best moments and their best mode of operation, to the point where people overlook their worth. And on the flip side of that, some people was never done anything for Jamaica get a lot of praise, like Mr. Patterson and Mr. Manley, got some praise they never deserved. So the work of the Labour Party was overlooked. But that is the reason why Andrew is so hated now, because he's now portraying what Mr. Siaka wanted to do and couldn't, because of the demonization of him being white and all these things.
Right.
Now they're putting forward a white man that enslaved this family, enslaved us. It's quite on the contrary, you know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
madness. Now you just imagine you calling Mr. Seaga Crooklyn is like a white man, and then now here comes a white man that his parents, his fourth parents, enslaved us, as opposed to a white man that built this country, all our financial institutions and our major institutions in Jamaica, like UDC and all that. Why was all these things overlooked? That one was a man that was for music and all these things, you know, and everybody look past that just because he's a white man. You're a white man that built this country from 19 years old till the day he died. Yeah.
Wow.
It's quite an irony, you know?
Yes, sir.
We'll talk more, you know?
Yeah, man, and looking forward for that. We're just trying to educate the people and bring the positive words out there, you know, because I realize I have to take a stand because there's just too much negative and social media about Jamaica, and it's very discouraging.
with all the violence that happened in Jamaica, politically, it's surprising that we are more divided now without the violence.
Yeah, but I tell you this, we since Hurricane Peril, we are more divided than when the election was running.
And that's because of a thing named bad mind that we created.
That really surprised me.
You know, we created this bad mind syndrome that we have in Jamaica. And it was born out of selfishness. You know, ideology of Michael Manley and the selfishness of Mr. Patterson. You know, it breed up a set of bad mind.
I when you come back, we want to talk about that a little bit. How the bad mind create, because I sort of have I know we are from a classism society. I'm why you tie that into all of that
that is
way
where the
thing.
bad mind stem. That's where the bad mind stem.
I figure that's where you were going.
Because where Andre's from, should be prime minister. That's the biggest problem he has. Could be a footballer from Spanish Town and St. Elizabeth.
Okay.
When you come by for be prime minister, you're not in the upper echelons of these people. You never go into the prominent high schools. You know, you never come from a great background, regardless who his father was and his mother is.
Wow.
That's him at his best. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of load there for really
when they weren't winning the white man, black man argument, they went classism. When they were won the classism argument and went thief.
Yes.
And no, that's the worst thing anybody can call every pass I pass people are eyes out. But guess what happened? You overcome that. While they were busy calling him thief, you were busy getting accolades from the rest of the world, because what they never seem to realize that the world actually like thief.
And again, I must tell you, and I want to emphasize on this, I'm not a political person. I have no political preferences. But one other thing, but I'm fair.
Let me say this thing. Nobody in the rest of the world was looking at him as a thief, because this one, all of the rest of the world's wealth was built on thievery. So nobody was looking at that. People was looking at his economical standard and his decorum, and his ability to move the country forward and grow the economy. That's what they were looking at.
Right.
Jamaica, a better place.
And what I noticed is that during the election, for 2 years, or minimum of 2 years, the campaign and the opposition was more of a personal campaign against an individual.
Mr. Golden is the only man ever in a history campaign for 5 years. It's the first me ever see that. 5 years he campaigned for.
And what I notice is that yes, it's about an individual, which is the prime minister, not on his policies, not on what he's not doing. It was about him a thief and him wife, and it's all personal, and that's the part of the election that I did not like at all. I did not like it. It is sad. Ladies and gentlemen, time has well spent. Yes, thank you, One Channel, for stop by. Marcia, blessings, and you called me out, but when I
Have a good night.
John T. And all things beautiful.
Marcia, you trace me. You said that I'm not follow you, but you say, with you more than I want, you don't know.
But I mean, tell him to invite you up. Have a good night.
Yeah, all right, guys.
Bye bye, John. Ali. Good night, guys.
Yeah,
bye bye.
All right, one love, man. All right. Yeah, man. All right, take care, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching, this program is about bringing positiveness to Jamaica. And not only to Jamaica, about Jamaica. Together with unity, we can make a better Jamaica. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Good night. Looking forward to see you on Wednesday at 10 p.m. We will do it all over again. One love.
Big up Sutherland TV. You see me? You wanna be me? Then log on to Sutherland TV.